Welcome back to United States of Australia. I am. Oh, wait. I wasn't prepared. Hang on. I am.
This is a Aussie guy. He's in Perth. He's a piece of shit.
It's the only sound drop I have. I'm going to use it. So, yeah, thank you, Patrick Melton. Nobody likes onions. But yeah, I am the Aussie guy. And this week, it's very special. We have a very special guest. And I look forward to talking to him. Contributes a lot to one of my favorite podcasts and also is a host of another podcast that I'm okay with. And that man is the host of The Creep Off and a regular contributor to WATP, Mr. Vinnie Paulino. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Aussie guy. Thanks for having me.
No, I appreciate you joining us. You're a much bigger celebrity than we are. And by celebrity, I mean seen by a couple of thousand people in the YouTube world.
All right. Thank you for putting the conditions on that, because I'm not a celebrity in any way, shape, or form, sir.
No, but you do, well, you certainly work with celebrities, and it's something I want to get into shortly because, you've worked in comedy and in certain levels of broadcasting, all that. But I did want to acknowledge that we have other co-hosts to our show, Vinny, but I've told them to sit back because they don't really know about the Dabbleverse and yourself and all that. So I'm going to conduct an interview with you, and then those guys are going to join us later.
Just proves my point. Not a celebrity.
Exactly. No, it's a great point. Great point. But I want to acknowledge that sitting backstage right now is a man that for the first time in podcast history will make Vinnie Paulino not the fattest person on screen. Robbie the Mariner fan, how you doing?
I was doing great till that. I wasn't expecting to get made fun of this early on in the podcast, to be honest.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Sorry,
everybody with the fat jokes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but don't you like the fact that there's someone fatter on the show today?
Sure. Actually, I feel beautiful. Thank you.
I love the fact that I got to burn both of you in the same joke. That was great.
All right. I feel so welcome.
Sorry, terrible way to start. But no, Vinnie Paulino, I've heard you a lot on WATP and I have taken the time to check out The Creep Off, which I'm a bit of a true crime buff. And I really do like Sword and Scale, and I like the fact that you guys acknowledge that you're the best true crime podcast outside of Sword and Scale.
We'll give them the top spot, but we're nipping at their toes.
Yeah, but I do love the fact of doing true crime and comedy. What is that like for you? What's some of your favorite stuff to do when it comes to the creep off and the true crime?
Man. I love that show because the whole concept, just to begin with, is silly, because true crime is treated so seriously and everybody's clutching their pearls. Oh, she murdered her husband. Oh, let's watch for hours and hours. They'll this one case, but this stuff happens every day, and there's crazier stuff that you never hear about. And so what I thought would be fun would be to turn that into a competition with Carl from WATP. So every week there's a category, and then we just will argue with each other about, we will both nominate who we think is the creepiest person in a category. So say the category is Australia, I'd pick, probably someone related to you. Carl would pick another person related to you. And then we'd argue which one of your cousins is the creepiest. And then we get points based on that. And then we have to do terrible things. Like I just had to get drag makeup put on me. They put a pound of glitter in my beard. Like it was the worst thing. It was like the worst day ever. We did it for a stupid contest about which murderer was worse. So when you put that level in it, it takes a lot of pressure off of taking it seriously, because we're just going over the top with how horrible these things are instead of pretending to be so affected and moved by it. We're all desensitized by it at this point. I mean, I know it's a horrible thing to say, but the reality is murder's been turned into entertainment for a long time.
No, it of course it has, and that's what I mean. Like I do like the fact that you and Carl have some fun with it, and yeah, your consequences. Yeah, you kind of get, yeah, like you say, drag makeup and stuff like that. Carl's the one that gets like having to stream stuff. Like I've noticed that Carl had to stream watching Cuties and stream listening to the Bills theme song. I think it was, or was that you? Did you have
Well,
to do
that was
that?
him. I've had to do those too. I had to do the worst stream. It's up on the Creep Off YouTube channel now. You can watch it. It's 12 hours long. I had to listen to shitty podcasts for 12 hours. Curated by Carl.
What podcasts did you have to listen to?
Oh,
Do you remember? Remember?
We were listening to Patrick Michael. A lot of Patrick
Okay.
Michael.
Yeah.
He had a true crime show, so I was listening to that. Oh boy, I'm trying to remember all of them. It was such a awful blur. There was Stuttering John in there. There was Opie. There was an episode of The Biggest Problem in the Universe, the one that Dick was not on, which is supposedly the worst episode of anything ever. And I had to sit there and just listen to all of this for 12 hours. And that's where this gray came from.
That's amazing.
But he
no,
does
look,
get off light. He hasn't always gotten off light. Like we did one where he had to go into a supermarket, right? We called it the 7-second porn challenge. And we went to a Walmart and Carl was blasting porn on his phone in the middle of the store. And he had to do it for 7 seconds. And funny fact, nobody at a Walmart gives a shit if you're watching porn, turns out.
that's great. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, to be totally honest. I do love the fact though that a creep off consequence brought about the whole nap thing, because that was a creep off consequence, wasn't it? When Carl's lovely wife Ginny Jingles told him he should have taken a nap. So you got to take pride in that, don't you?
Well, I do. I take pride in most of the things that people use as ammo against Carl come out of the creep off, which it kind of cracks me up. Like, for example, the cow bikini picture,
That's
that was a
another one,
consequence.
Yeah.
The video where he's watching Cuties and Napgate, yep, that happened during a creep off stream. So it's always fun. Like the thing everybody's talking about now is how we call that restaurant, and that was on the creep off. So we do a lot of silly things over there. People check it out. It's a fun show.
No, it is definitely like I say, I've checked it out. I'm not a regular listener, but the thing I like about true crime is because I kind of binge, like I get in a crime mood and I'll binge true crime. Like that's what I do with Sword and Scale. Like I'll let it go for months, if not years, and then I'll binge an entire 2 series for a week or whatever. So that's what I like about true crime is it's timeless, which I think that's something that you're onto there. And ripping on podcasts is pretty timeless as well. But no, we are sort of, I like to say about us here at United States of Australia, we're tangentially sports, but we're also a little bit of me trying to teach some Americans about Australian culture. So in both of those veins, we're going to talk about sports, but the first question I love to ask an American is, can you name me your favorite Australian athlete?
Mel Gibson? No, hold on. God damn it. There's got to be somebody, right?
I love asking Americans this question. It's great.
My favorite Australian athlete, Will Ospreay.
Oh, all right. Oh, wait, no, he's British. What am I like? You just threw me off. He's British. Yeah. Say Grayson Waller, for fuck's sake. Rhea Ripley. Say Rhea Ripley.
Okay, I take it all back. I will double down. It's Rhea Ripley. My favorite Australian athlete is Rhea Ripley. Yes.
All right, I'll give you Rhea Ripley. It's tangentially sports. So well done. But no, I know obviously watching your feud with Carl and I think you guys did a Dolphins Bills. Actually, no, I know you did a Dolphins Bills stream because I actually listened to it live. You're a big Dolphins fan.
Yeah.
I like to go back. Like, do you remember what it was for you as a kid? Like, what clicked you onto sports and what made you a sports fan?
My father's gambling.
I love it. I love
Well,
it.
I used to watch the Dolphins with my dad on Sundays, man, and it was weird because I live in Rochester, New York. I grew up in San Diego, and I could have been a Chargers fan. I am a Padres fan. I like baseball, but football was the thing for my dad, and he was hanging out in Miami in the 70s during the Zonka, Bob Greasy era. So he was just a Dolphins guy.
Yeah.
And when we moved to Rochester, for some reason, the Bills would always be on, I think, the Fox affiliate. And then the Dolphins were always on. They played at the same time. They were in the same division, but it was either the Dolphins or the Jets. So I watched the Dolphins about half the year. And it was always a big event in the house if the Dolphins were on. And, that's my team, man.
Yeah. No, it's how you like? Did you play any sports growing up and all that?
No. No,
No, it
I
was
was a
just about
dirtbag
sporting.
apartment kid, man. I didn't play any sports. I mean, I played unorganized sports in the backyard.
Yeah, which a lot of it, I think, most of us do growing up. But so it was kind of all about the Dolphins. Were you into any other sports, or was it
Well, I love
mainly?
basketball too. I'm a Celtics
Yep.
fan.
Oh, okay.
But that's because I grew up in an apartment complex, and the only thing we had was like a big field for flag football or touch football or kill the carry, whatever we were playing. And then we had basketball courts. And because I was one of the only white kids, they would always call me Larry Bird. So when I'm 7 or 8 years old, I'm like, I'm Larry Bird. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about and came up just loving on the Celtics.
Yeah, Larry Bird really let himself go.
Actually, I'm 1,000 times more of an attractive person than Larry Bird, and that is a horrible thing to say, but it is 100% true.
He's an interesting looking human being, isn't he?
Like,
That's a good point. Yeah,
I mean,
no, I'll give you that.
he's a face for Boston, I'll say that.
Yeah, that is true. That's very true. That's great. How you feel like? Obviously, so I think you're a fraction older than me, but you obviously grew up with Dan Marino and all that with the Dolphins. It's obviously been a lot tougher since Dan Marino retired, and obviously you never got any wins out of Dan Marino, like Super Bowl wins. But what has it been like? I know you like being in Rochester and Buffalo, sucking all those years. It probably eases the pain, but what's it like being a Miami Dolphins fan for the last 30 years?
It sucks so bad sometimes, but then other times we play spoiler a lot. So that's a lot of fun for me. That's what got me through all those years when Belichick and Brady were on top in the division year after year after year. They would always drop one to Miami in Miami, and that was my Super Bowl every year. So like I lived kind of vicarious through that. I love that we generally placed higher than the Bills. So like there were like these loser bowls, I called them, that like would bring me hope every year and just keep me hooked and coming back. So I did have the things that I rooted for, even though I knew Super Bowl probably wasn't in the cards for the Finns.
Yeah, look,
Not
it's
next year,
interesting.
though.
Well, I will get onto the current state. It's interesting because for me, I became a Cowboys fan. Like they were dominant in the early '90s, and we would get Super Bowls. And so, like, I saw the Cowboys win back-to-back Super Bowls. Became a
Oh,
Cowboys fan.
I rooted for your Cowboys in those Super Bowls because they were
Oh,
playing
of course,
Buffalo.
because it was the Bills. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. So yeah, I became. Oh, well, hang on, Dang Lizard's here to let us know. Like, I always gotta less people on stream, so Vinny is the fattest.
Put Robbie back up. Bring back
Yeah.
Robbie. Bring back Robbie. Suck it, Dang Lizard. Just kidding. I love Dang Lizard. He's the best.
No, he is great. That's why I've got to bring. He usually lets us know our numbers, which I think, Dang, for the first time since you've joined us live, this probably is the highest numbers we've had with you being on live stream. Because if you could let us know that there's 8 people watching, I'd appreciate it. Robbie, you can get backstage again now. Fuck, I was like, so great times in my early years of not knowing what the fuck is going on. But then like in the past 10, 15 years when I've been paying attention, I know every year the Cowboys are going to let me down, whether it's in week 16 or in the first round of the playoffs or second round, whatever it is, that they're going to let me down. So I do get it. Got some success early, but anyway, right now, Tua, I don't buy it. A lot of people don't buy it. Are you a Tua guy? Or are you falling off with Tua?
the numbers got to be right for this contract they're talking about. That's where I'm at with this, because the question I always ask as a Dolphins fan, we've had a revolving door at quarterback for as long as I can remember now. Marino retired in 2001, 23 years ago. We've had quarterbacks coming in and out. Tua, of all of those quarterbacks, statistically at least, and the fact that the team has made the playoffs under him, has made him the most successful of those quarterbacks.
That's
And
true.
the question I always ask is, if you're going to replace a quarterback, do you have someone better? Because that's what the NFL is. It's, if you don't have a quarterback, you're going nowhere. Now, McDaniel is probably my favorite head coach that we've had, but I'm more out of love with McDaniel than I am with Tua. Because, I mean, Tua's made some mistakes. Tua's thrown really bad interceptions. Do I think he's the guy? If you call in the right plays, maybe, because he can, because he can do a lot of things very well. He's very accurate, and you got guys like Waddle and Hill who could hide a lot of warts. So, can you win a Super Bowl with Tua? Yeah, probably, but you gotta not put it all on him. I don't know if he's that guy.
Yeah,
the Ravens got a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. You could get a Super Bowl with Tua.
No, and that's the thing. And again, I think Dolphins and Cowboys are in a similar position in terms of Dak Prescott is not a quarterback that's leading you to a Super Bowl, but you put the right team around Dak Prescott and he can manage his way to a Super Bowl. So, like, I understand. I just want to quickly hit a chat because I just want to address this. Why are we deleting chats? I would not have the slightest clue how to do that. I am so
Hi, Dela.
Yeah. I am aware of who you are, Dela, and thank you for joining us. Censoring chat with 9 people in it. I honestly wouldn't know how to censor a chat. It might be my settings and the words you're using. I don't know. I got no clue how this shit works.
Is he trying to super chat that I'm the fat N-word again?
Well, there's no super chat. There's no super chats in this show. It's so far from super chats. It's not funny. Dang Lizard, thank you. Hip hip hooray. It was 11 there for a second. Yes, thank you.
Yep. His picture, go back to that picture. That's my creep off consequence, by the way.
Oh, it is too, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. So that's you getting made up like a trans person. Well, no, not drag queen. Drag queen. Sorry. Yeah. I'll be respectful. These are different things.
They are different things.
They are very different things. Made up like a drag queen on a live stream. You had to live stream it, or you just recorded it?
Oh, we live streamed it.
Yeah. No, that's great. Funny, I love that you guys do that. Put yourselves through that.
It's stupid and silly, but it does makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What do you think about the idea of Ezekiel Elliott going back to Dallas? Do you want that?
Well, he got no running game. You know what I mean? Like,
Pollard's gone.
He. Yeah, no, agreed. No, look, he's past it. There's Ezekiel ain't like resurrecting his career or resurrecting Dallas, but I heard this week that Derrick Henry said he was just waiting for the call from Dallas. It would have been perfect. And Jerry Jones said a week or so earlier that we're all in this year for a Super Bowl. It's like, how do you not call Derrick Henry? How do you not call the best running back in the fucking league that's a free agent?
I would have actually really preferred he go to Dallas over Baltimore.
Agreed.
Yeah, that would have been a lot better for the AFC, in my opinion. But, I mean, Baltimore's probably my Super Bowl pick in the AFC. I mean, I root for the Dolphins, but it's going to be hard not.
Unless Derrick Henry falls off a cliff, talent-wise, or, like, physicality-wise.
Which can happen.
It does, and it does happen. So, yeah, look, we'll never know. Well, not that we'll never know. We'll have to wait until the end of the year. But, yeah, I hated seeing that he signed with Baltimore. I was like, how is Dallas not signing him? But,
yeah.
Anyway, I've lost track of where I was. That's right. I wanted to get into... Because, yeah, you are a high-ranking official in a very high-quality comedy club. And I
wasn't elected.
And you've certainly dabbled in stand-up comedy over the years. So, like, I'm a huge comedy fan. I love funny, and there's so many comedians that I've respected over the years that have sort of like I've learned things from just by their style. I'm very interested for you, like what it was for you comedy wise, and even just broadcasting, because some great comedic minds are broadcasters. What was it for you growing up, like with comedy? Like, what were some of your influences, and what who did you want to emulate? I guess.
Oh man, I hate to admit who my favorite comic was when I was a kid,
Do
but
it.
it was a weird choice. It was Drew Carey.
Okay,
I
that is
loved
different.
Drew Carey's human cartoon stand-up special that was on Drew Carey's cartoon. It was on Comedy Central all the time on rerun, and Dana Carvey. Oh, I forget the name of the special. Was on there all the time. Those two specials made me love stand-up. They're just silly and like Drew Carey still has one of my favorite jokes ever written. It's so simple because like the joke writing now that I've been involved in comedy is so like out there for simple things with Drew Carey. And I didn't realize it as a kid. That's what attracted me to it, but I had to break it down. There's a joke he wrote. It's real simple. It was like, hey, you ever notice you never get enough good advice when you light up a cigarette? And then he just lets it hang. But it's a joke in a setup. It's like stuff like that like I really, really I don't know why I appreciate it so much, but I do. So I really loved watching him as a kid. I liked watching Louis Anderson when I was a kid. Louis Anderson had some weird specials. Uh, I grew up in a very, very religious household, so I really was only exposed to the more silly things until I got older and I got a copy of Eddie Murphy Raw. I got the CD, went down that rabbit hole, got into, all sorts of stuff. And I've never really looked back, but um, comedy coming up in a religious household was really weird because I used to have to go to church and listen to these long ass sermons. My parents were constantly watching Christian videotapes. So I had this attention span. I could sit there and I could listen to people talk. But then when I found stand up and I was actually entertained by it, I was like, this is for me. This is the greatest thing in the world. Oh my God, someone could actually entertain me for once while they're talking. And to me, I think of stand up in a weird way as reverse church.
That's an interesting, yeah, that's an interesting way of putting it. I do kind of get it because there's so many comedians from me, and like across different, different nationalities, different races, and all that. Like my first favorite comedian was Billy Connolly. I don't know if you've heard of
Oh
him,
yeah.
but
Hell yeah.
yeah, Scottish comedian and an amazing storyteller, but also could just tell you a joke, kind of like Jackie Martling, like he knew street jokes, but he could just tell you a story about what happened to him that day, and you just captivated, but then you kind of evolve, like you say, Eddie Murphy Raw, getting into Dave Chappelle and all that, and it's like totally getting what these black people are talking about. I was like, I'm the whitest person you could ever imagine, but I understand what these black people are telling me, and I it's such a fine art, stand up comedy. What was it like for you, like trying to like work your own art and do your own stand up comedy, like building your set and all that?
Dude, when I first started doing it, I had like this idea of like there was an open mic. It was in a bar that I wasn't supposed to be in because I was 19. And I was trying to figure out like, what would be I'm just channeling all the things that I've seen, and I know what a comedian looks like, but I needed to come up with something to make it my own, is the way I approached it. So I had a weird observations about there was a thing going on at the time where these guys are all arrested for producing bum fighting videos. Like they were paying
Yeah.
homeless people to fight each other. So I was just like, I went up there and was just like, they paid them $10. You get these guys for, a bag of empties and something off the dollar menu. What are we doing here? Like, let's get this cost down. And like, I was just trying to come up with like this silly idea of like a producer for this and what that would be like. So I tried to bring myself, like, it was almost a weird character thing, I guess. I don't know how to describe
Yeah.
it. I approached it very silly. I approached it silly. And then the more I got into it, the more I realized you have to make it about you. You have to make it like your perspectives on things, because when you make like that's always, I know that sounds weird. A lot of people go up there and think they could just go joke, 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 but you don't really create a bond with the audience, and it gets really played out and tired. So you have to figure out like how to connect by being like yourself and making like that's how it always worked for me, and that's why I'm not a super famous comedian. Like
Do you
my approach was always like, well, if I was this person, and I want people to be like, that's the way I would be too. So I tried to be relatable, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm rambling because it's early in the morning for me on a Saturday.
It's all good. No, definitely. I find like I like to flirt with the idea that one day I'll try it. I'll try and do stand-up comedy, and I try and write bits and jokes. I don't know about you, like what it was like for you, like writing jokes and that, but the amount of times where I'll come up with something and in the moment I'm like, that is so funny. And then the next day I think about it again and go, I'm not buying it. Like
Well,
sorry, you go.
No, I did not mean to interrupt you, because you just said something that is the crippling to people, and it stops them in their tracks from doing stuff, and it shouldn't. Write that down and use this mantra: no joke is ever finished. There was something in it that got you. Okay. So there might be something in there. It's you have to work for it. You have to figure out what that is. And what I tell young comics now is I tell them this exercise from a book written by a guy named Gene Perrette, who just died, I think, a year or two ago. He used to be one of Johnny Carson's writers back in the day, and he wrote a thing called the Comedy Writers Workbook. And there's a ton of like just thought exercises to help like get your brain like loose for writing jokes. So like picking a topic and having that first thought is the seed that you need to get you to the point where you actually turn that into something. So never just throw that away, dude. Don't throw that away. Write it down. And you might not have it right then, but you got a seed. Don't throw out a seed.
I appreciate that. No, that's good advice. That's like excellent advice. In fact, look, one of the things about getting you on, like, there's a lot of influence with WATP. That's how I discovered you, and all these podcasts coming through. I've become a big Nobody Likes Onions fan and all that. And I'm even involved in a show called Get My Go, which is a roast style show as well. It all developed from Opie and Anthony for me, like how I got into this stuff. I discovered Opie and Anthony on YouTube, and I was listening to Jocktobers and just in general what they were doing, and I was so amazed about how great radio entertainment you guys had growing up. For you, what was some of your like favorites? Because obviously I know you've got into broadcasting because some of these guys inspired you.
Opie and Anthony, Opie and Anthony,
Yeah.
Opie and Anthony. More influential than the Tonight Show in terms of what stand-up has become.
Yeah.
The fact that they had some of the most genius level people at the times in their career and what they went on to, and were able to expose them to so many people, was such a service to the world of stand-up. Those two guys can never be thanked enough for introducing to the world to the Bill Burrs, the Patrice O'Neills, the Bobby Kellys, and believe it or not, Rich fucking Voss, even, who I'm doing a show with next Saturday night.
Nice.
Those people, like Opie and Anthony, their show, just allowing these guys to be together and show people the fun that you can have just being silly about things and being open about it. Satellite radio was an awesome tool, but Opie and Anthony's show, to me, nobody did it better. Nobody will do it better. I remember I used to listen to them in the afternoons in Rochester. They were actually evenings. They were on at 5 p.m. They would do a replay because Brother Weeze knew Opie, and Brother Weeze was a big Rochester, New York radio guy, and Opie came up underneath him. So Weeze got their show, even though it wasn't syndicated everywhere, up to Rochester in the evening. And that's when I first heard them. and it was before they got fired. It was before the Sex for Sam thing, and that show was so different and so amazing that if anything made me want to broadcast, it was that idea of being able to find the right people to really take things over the top and be funny with it. You know, to have to be able to incubate something in a room. Like, it almost sounds like the best writer's room in the history of the world, where these guys, they just start talking about something and everybody's just spitting out gold. That's something that hasn't been replicated really anywhere. So they did it the best. The answer is Opie and Anthony. That was my influence.
No, that's awesome. I 100% agree. The getting all those comedians in, and look, I didn't. Howard Stern is kind of like stripped from the internet in terms of, like, yeah, you can find the best of Howard Stern, but you don't get to listen to hours and full episodes. Like, I was just started with, I think it was Louis C.K. I discovered Louis C.K. So I listened to all his appearances, and then it was, oh, Bill Burr's really funny, and I listen to all Bill Burr's, and you know what I mean. Then Patrice, and you know what I mean. Like, you don't get that same.
How did
stuff
I forget Louis? By the way, I'm sorry on that list earlier. I forgot Louis.
Yeah,
the world
and the
forgot
crossovers,
Louis.
the crossovers between them all, Louis C.K. and Patrice, like, this hilarious stuff. Like, even Jim Jeffries, an Australian comedian, you know what I mean? Like, he had some amazing appearances. But
oh, goddamn! And it's like like, when I was a little kid, I loved comic books, and you would see the issue. It's like the Superman and the Flash are going to be together, and you hear, oh shit, they're going to have Rich Voss in there with fucking Patrice. Patrice is going to rip up a new one. It's going to be hysterical. I can't wait to hear it. You know, like, there were just combos of comics that were great, and they just knew how to make the recipe work. So that show, top notch.
No, I agree. And like,
and don't forget Ron and Fez too.
Yeah, look, I was going to ask you about Ron and Fez, but I will say, like, Howard Stern was very much more about getting reactions around the people in the studio, like the crew, and exposing the mental deficiencies, I guess, of the crew. But there were some great moments, like the eggnog, you know, the baby bird, all that. It's such
Pat
a legendary
Munaki.
moment. Yeah, exactly. And Pat Duffy was taking it. But another one of my favorites was Big A went on the date with Stalker Patty, and like, she treated him like shit the entire date. And I'll never forget the moment when they're like, Big A, what do you want to say to Stalker Patty? He goes, fuck you, bitch. And the whole studio erupted with him and cheered. It's like, it's
Big
A! Big A, yeah. Like, everyone was like, fuck yeah. Like, just real moments like that as well. Like, it's such a great show. You did mention Ron and Fez. I know Rocco, Tukey, Bedazzler, El Horrible is a huge Ron and Fez guy, and he got me to listen to stuff. I love Ron Bennington. I think Ron Bennington is one of the sharpest, quick-witted comics in broadcasting I've ever heard.
The greatest show that never was would have been Ron and Anthony.
Oh yeah.
That would have been incredible. Ron Bennington, to me, like, I had an XM subscription, so I listened all day to both of them. I listened to the replay. Ron and Fez, that was a dynamic that was also incredible, and they did more of a show. Like, what they were doing was more radio. Opie and Anthony they had the radio aspect of it. They were very, dependent on their listeners. They were doing the instant, comments and message boards way before anybody else. These shows were just top-notch phenomenal. That time on XM before they got bought by Sirius was unbelievable.
No, I agree. You're right. The Ron and Anthony show, because I've listened to a couple of Opie and Anthony's where Ron filled in for Opie, and I was just like, this is something special, you know, because I think Kumia, for a certain period of time, might have been the funniest person on the planet in terms of his sharp wit, his impressions, his jokes on the fly. Yeah, like, I don't know, what were your thoughts, like, rating Kumia? Like, we all know he's as racist as they come, but like, in terms of his comedy,
well, if we're trying to separate the art from the artist, if we're doing that game, Anthony and Ron are my, my radio hosts, Mount Rushmores. I mean, we don't even need two more. You put those two up there. Anthony, I've been around Anthony because of WATP. I did a couple segments with him. We did the live show in New York. I did a segment with Anthony. Like, you go back in time and tell me this 15 years ago, I never would have believed you in a million years. But just being around that guy, so funny. So funny. We were all at a bar after, and Missy B, his girlfriend, was like there was a party room in the next room, and she would walk in and get all these guys to give her drinks, and then she would come back out, and we're all just laughing like children, and it was just the funniest shit in the world. And that guy's got it, man. When he's on, he is on, and that's all I can say about it. He's very lovable. He's a funny dude.
Well, like, I'm one to say, like, I think the Uncle Rico show is absolute dog shit, and they do Stuttering John coverage poorly. But anytime Anthony is on there, and I don't understand why Anthony is not on WATP as often as he's on Uncle Rico, but we don't need to get into that. But when Anthony pops on Uncle Rico, I'm like, oh my God, this guy is actually, like, going back to Jocktober, he's the best at this. Like the things that he notices and all that. Yeah.
He's goddamn Michael Jordan. He makes it makes it look effortless.
Yeah.
Bam! It just comes out. And it's hysterical. He's as sharp as they come, dude.
Yeah, no, he is. Now, look, we're starting to dabble in the Dabbleverse. And look, I know you went through a lot with Stuttering John, and I don't want to get into Stuttering John because I'm kind of bored of him. It's the same shit over and over and over again. But I did want to ask you this one question, just because you've spoken to him in real life. You know, like, anybody that's on screen, I generally just sit back and go, I won't believe what they're saying because they're on screen. You know what I mean? I want to hear them say it privately. Otherwise, I'm not going to necessarily take it seriously. Stuttering John Melendez is an idiot. That's proven. Is he as much of an idiot as he plays up on screen though? Like, do you think personally, after talking to him, is he that big of an idiot, or does he play some stuff up?
Well, there's these extremes, right? What everybody on the internet says he is, dumb, stupid, fucking idiot. And then there's what he says he is, Mensa, smartest guy in the world. I don't necessarily think that the truth is in the middle, but it's leading.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've had very serious conversations with John about stuff, and I don't talk about any of that. Nothing personal, but I'll say this: if you watch his show, you can tell he definitely plays things up, and he knows he's playing things up. But we're still going over here. I mean, that's the best way to say it. Like, there's times where you just go, okay, maybe he's got it figured out and he is playing things up, but the logic is so fucking weird and twisted. I don't even know, man. I don't fucking know what's going on in that guy's head. Frankly, I don't care. I really don't. I'm so bored with him. Like, whenever someone sends me a clip, like, I've been getting clips sent to me all week. He's screaming about how I need to go to federal prison for 5 years because I called a restaurant. I mean, I'm just like, does he really believe this? Or is he like, Carl thinks he believes it. I don't know.
Yeah, believing that that's how Carl draws his S's because his wife has an S in her name and Carl signed his wife. Like, he couldn't possibly believe any of that. Like, that's what's insane to me. Anyway, no, I know
what that is. The church kid in me would say what he has there is faith. He really wants that to be true.
He wants it, yeah, and he wants you to have committed a federal crime by calling Stevie Tomatoes.
You know what kills
look,
me
yeah,
about that is like I everybody's like, you called and you harassed. Really? I harassed somebody? I just like,
Yeah.
hey, can I talk to you about? I just want to make sure my friend isn't getting billed. What are you, 5? You're going like this woman's chewing me out, and I'm just standing there smiling, going, okay, no problem.
Well,
Have a great day, ma'am. I will never call you again. Sorry.
But that's the greatest clip that's come out of it, is the fact that the manager at Stevie Tomatoes is a Jim Florentine fan. What are you, 5? You know, that was the best clip to come out of this whole thing. What are you, 5?
I can't wait. I'm going to see him on Thursday night. I'm doing a show with him at Rob's Comedy Playhouse in Buffalo, New York. So I'm going to show him that clip and be like, I think she probably subscribes to your Patreon, dude.
Yeah. Love Jim Florentine. Very funny man.
Me too.
Okay, man. And from all reports, the nicest man you'll ever meet. So
up there.
Yeah. Which is great. I did want to quickly touch on, I don't know, have you seen what's going on with Steel Toe Morning Show?
Okay, a little bit. I've seen drips and drabs. I don't really watch their show. I've never turned it on. I'm not subscribed to their channel. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what's really going on. I know that he's got his wife, and his wife's all of a sudden not there. I know that.
It's fascinating. That's what I love about the Dabbleverse, because it all began with Stuttering John, but then he decided to run away, and then all this other stuff happened, and there was Chad Zumock and Steel Toe and all this stuff. And yeah, I'm a big Nobody Likes Onions fan, and he does a great coverage of Steel Toe Morning Show. But
I'm pumped for Hackamania, man. I'm pumped to meet Patrick.
Yeah, I think Patrick's fantastic. And look, everyone has their different levels as to how far they're willing to go. And Patrick's willing to go further than most. And, you know what I mean? I find it funny. I wouldn't do it myself, but I find it funny when someone else does it. But no, it's just, I don't know. I've found it very amusing how Patrick has completely wrecked Steel Toe Morning Show in 12 months. And, I don't know how Steel Toe isn't the cringe of the week on WATP every week at this point.
This guy Aaron, right? He's in Minnesota. He was a radio guy.
Yeah.
Right? And then he got fired from radio, and then he decided his job was going to be putting on this show with his wife.
Yes. So just to go a little bit further, he got fired from radio for bullying a woman on the radio.
Okay.
Because they got a job.
How ugly was she?
Yeah, I actually haven't seen pictures of her, but I assume she was very ugly and very untalented. I'm sure Aaron was right in the fact that she lacked talent. That he got his audience to bully this woman, and that's what got him fired from radio. And now he's complaining that the internet is bullying his wife, who's also very untalented and shouldn't be on the air. It's a fascinating dichotomy that's going on there, you know.
Aussie guy. Do you know who Terry Clifford is? If I told you that name, do you remember that from OK Anthony? Okay. Rochester legend Terry Clifford from my town. So for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, Terry Clifford is this woman who did radio, and Opie and Anthony on their Jocktober segment destroyed her because she's not a conventional beauty. Let's just put it that way. Or a beauty. Or conventional. She's a problem. And I used to work for a different club, and I used to have to drive the comics to radio. And I was with Florentine once. This had to be like in 2013-ish. And I was at they're owned by radio.com now. I think it was Entercom at the time. She worked there, and they had this terrible bench in the lobby, dude. And it looked like kids painted it, but it was supposed to be Terry Clifford. And it was just this horrific looking fucking bench. It was hideous, dude. And I'm in there with Florentine, and I go, that's the Terry Clifford bench. And he's like, knew exactly what it was from Opie and Anthony. We both start giggling. Now, Anthony gave her the nickname Flat Terry, if you want to guess why. And I took a picture of the bench, and I tweeted it. Hey, at O&A, I'm over at so-and-so with the flat Terry Clifford bench. Sent a picture of it, and Florentine and I laughed. I was banned from the building forever. I'm still not allowed in there for that tweet.
That's great.
because they take bullying so seriously in radio, and that stuff flips those companies right the fuck out. So sorry to
Yeah.
go down that road, but yeah, it's a true story.
No,
They get mad.
it's a great analogy because despite being, I mean, look, depends what you're into, but April Imholt is reasonably attractive, but she got Terry Clifford off the internet, it would seem. Look, my co-hosts are here, Vinny, and I did give you a heads up, and I hope you're ready for it. If not, we can do something else. But are you ready to play a round of bullpucky with us?
Sure am. Let's go.
Yes. All right. Let me bring in my co-hosts who have been sitting patiently. I did tell them to be here 10 minutes ago. And they were all on time. But first of all, he's not been here in a few weeks. And this man, Mr. Vinnie Paulino, is a Marine veteran who's currently in the country of Ukraine, doing some very serious work for the Ukrainian people, also while laying some pipe in Ukraine. Jay Scoop, how you doing?
What's up? I like the last little nugget you threw in there. Oh, I see. I'm not the only one in Ukraine. That background for Vinny looks about identical to over here.
Yeah.
Wow, I am surprised. Why are we sending so much money then? Because this looks pretty great.
More palm trees. Come on.
Thanks for doing the Lord's work over there. You lay that pipe, Jay Scoop.
It's actually that wide. No. Anyway, good to see you guys. Yeah, sorry I haven't. Well, you know how it is, Ozzy. It's kind of a crapshoot for me over here. So we even had an alert right as we were approaching me coming on here. I'm like, motherfucker.
I love it when the siren goes off when we're live. I really should clip that shit. We might go viral, but yeah, no, it's great.
Putin's there, you know. He's like, isn't the United States of Australia about to come out? I think I need to send some ballistic missiles.
Time to fuck with those 5 listeners. Yeah, that's great. Also joining us, a man who's going to take on Vinnie Paulino in bullpucky and is the reason for this Ohio State hat. Just Josh, how you doing?
Doing good. That's a nice looking hat too, Ozzy.
It is.
It's very sweet.
Vinny, have you ever partaken in Skyline chili?
It's gross. I won't eat it.
Yes.
Oh shit!
I'm going to be doing a review on Skyline chili a bit later on.
Yeah, wow. What are you going to review? The diarrhea it gives you? What are you going to be reviewing?
That's a myth.
I still got that diarrhea. But anyway,
Did you know that Josh's son's in the Navy, and apparently he borrowed his son's rack from the ship in the background there? Like, what the hell is that?
It is pretty. Yeah.
He's got a better rack in the fucking sub.
Anyway, Scoop, you kind of killed my joke to bring in Robbie.
Bonnie?
Because it was going to flow nicely into the man that enjoys that diarrhea. Robbie the Mariner fan. How you doing?
Skyline chili is God's food. It's the greatest thing on earth.
How are you not in landscape mode?
I don't know. Because honestly, it looks better with this way.
No, it doesn't.
I think
because
let's do a vote.
It's a third of the screen.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, just a second.
And listen, man, you're sitting here touting Skyline chili. I don't trust your instincts.
And with your size, we need every piece of the screen, Robbie. All right.
Not to mention the dead body wrapped up above you.
It's so high, by the way.
All right, stop moving now. This is the problem. All right, so the game is bullpucky. Josh is playing for the first time, and of course, our good friend Vinnie Paulino is going to try it on for the first time. Vinny, you understand the rules of the game?
Nope.
No.
Refresh us all.
No, you said it was basically trivia about Australia, right?
No.
Oh. Captain Cook. Oh wait, New Zealand. Sorry.
No, the thing was. Oh no. Well, this isn't going to work then. the thing was, you bring a story that's either true or embellished, and
He'll be fine. He's a traveled man. We'll
Yeah,
give him. We'll give him 2 seconds
how about
to
this?
think about it.
Josh can go first.
Yeah.
Think of a story. Just an interesting story from your life that's either true or like an
Not
embellished story,
Or fake.
or like
Okay.
embellished or fake, whatever. And then your opponent asks 3 questions that you have to answer, and then they have to decide if it's true or if it's bullpucky.
Okay.
So Josh is ready with the story. So Josh can go ahead and tell his story. And in the meantime, if you can come up with something, if not, I reckon myself or Scoot could probably sub in at the last second.
Yeah,
Okay,
and hopefully this segment's sponsored by some kind of motion sickness thing, because Robbie's camera is killing me right now.
Bullpucky brought to you by Dramamine.
Yes.
Skyline Chili.
All right, just Josh, give it. Oh yeah, so sorry, Vinny. You give a headline to the story, so like as if it would appear in the paper, and then the person asks 3 questions, and then they guess, and then you give the full story. That's how it works. But just Josh, you go first.
All right, so this is my first time with the bullpucky. So
Yeah, this is gonna fucking fail.
This
The train wreck
is
already.
gonna fail hard. So there was this one time we pulled a burglary off, and we got pulled over immediately as soon as we left the neighborhood, and cops let us go after about 10 minutes.
Well, that's a long headline, but
There you go.
You overestimate the quality of journalism in this country anymore.
well,
I've seen worse.
Yeah. So you pulled off a robbery, you got pulled over immediately,
And then we were released within 10 minutes.
released within 10 minutes.
Okay. So we get to ask 3 questions
3 questions.
between all of us. So there's 3 questions.
No,
total?
just you.
Okay.
Just you.
What did you steal?
It was a baseball card heist, basically.
If it was 80s to 90s cards, he got so fucking screwed over.
Maybe that's why they let him go.
Like serves 10 years for
Yeah.
the overprinted Conseco card or something.
Yeah.
It was baseball cards for the most part, but it was sports cards.
These are 90s tops. All right, on your way.
Upper deck.
Did you steal these things from a private residence, or was it from a store?
It was a private residence.
Oh, all right, that's interesting.
Okay.
This is good questioning from Vinnie Paulino. You could see this is you working on the creep off. This is helping you here.
I feel like
Not
he's
to
a
throw,
detective
not to
right
throw it
now.
off, but he showed a little consistency there because he said the neighborhood, and I was thinking
Yes.
residential. So if he had said
Yeah.
store, I would have been like, I don't know.
Yes.
Hey, Scoop's got the scoop. He knows what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He knows what I was thinking.
This is good analysis.
Okay.
Do you know what's funny? I've literally got
I got
cop
one question
sirens in the
left.
background at the moment. It's just-
What never fails if you don't know what the third question is, just throw something completely off the wall and see how he
just,
responds.
How much money did you end up making on the heist for yourself personally?
Oh, good question.
Yes.
0.
Oh, jeez.
There-
All right, Vinny. That's your 3. You got to decide now if that is true or bullpucky, Vinny.
I think it's true.
He's got it.
He's got it.
Yeah,
All right,
He's
well
got
done,
it. Vinny's
Vinny.
got it.
All
So
right, Josh.
hold on a second.
Yeah.
All
Listen, man, I'm gonna have a million questions on this now. Now, what happened?
So what happened was a card dealer. We didn't know the guy. I think he was military. Younger brother knew him because he was into cards. But long story short, he got us in. We pulled it off. When we got pulled over, we couldn't fit all the cards in the trunk, I guess. So we couldn't get the trunk shut. So we're trying to fucking tie it down with a piece of rope that a landscaper had come running at us with. Like, yeah, I got a piece of rope. And it was the craziest shit. I'm not kidding. As soon as we pulled out of this neighborhood, fucking cop lights come on. Guys pulling us over as I'm taking surgical gloves off and sticking them in the fucking seat of the car. But we got lucky because when he wanted to search the trunk because it was already open, I was praying to God the fucking CD player was not in the first box he opened. The two he opened were all baseball cards, and one set was a 67 Topps, 1967.
Oh,
So
how did you make no money? How did you make no money?
There was a murder in the same week, and I was not involved, but sort of involved. So I got sent out of Ohio, or sent out of Texas to Ohio.
Whoa, what?
Is this guy in a jail cell? Is this guy in a jail cell right now? Is that what he's broadcasting from?
How is the I was kind of involved with a murder a fucking side piece to your story you're telling?
That should have been the headline. I was kind of involved in a murder once.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. He does look like he's at a level 1 prison. He's finally worked his way through the system.
I did get a call like fucking 2 months later from my mom that said, "Why is your brother being questioned about a baseball card heist and some shit?" And I said,
I was going to say,
I was glad it was just the baseball card heist.
Murder? Yeah, no, it's not the murder, man. That's a whole nother fucking story. That's not bullpucky. But
all right.
But anyway, the cops ended up letting us go because he saw the baseball cards and he said, "Hey, good luck on your going to." We told him we were taking him to a show for a friend. But I made no money because I had already been sent out of Texas. So the guy who ended up selling the cards only made like $1,000 on him, and we knew we probably had like 30 to 40 grand worth of shit.
Wow.
Drugs, man. Drugs.
Bury the lead. That was just
Vinny,
crazy.
in that time, did you think of a story?
Okay.
Because you're already ahead, right? So all you need to do now, if you confuse Josh, you win. Otherwise, it comes to the judges between myself, Robbie.
I thought I'm the designated judge.
No, that's only when you're the only other fucking person here.
Just because you're the majority of us mass-wise doesn't mean that you get the.
And actually, Vinny, I did make the joke earlier, but you are looking in good nick. Have you lost a few?
About 35 pounds.
Very nice. Yeah, no, you are looking in good nick.
Not Ozempic. No Ozempic. I want to point that out. I actually fucking started going to the gym and shit right when they fucking invent a pill that fucking helps you. Like, I finally.
I'm trying to get a prescription, and then I'm just going to like do every weight loss challenge with every person on the internet, and just make bank. So that's my goal. Or my
Robbie, do you get to take like 4 times the average person dosage?
I mean, what's the average person dosage when it comes to Ozempic?
Well, you're probably 4 times the average person. So,
everyone taking Ozempic's already fat. So
I know that's the joke.
Okay,
Robbie.
shut up. Yeah,
so I'm lost. Does he have to get 4 prescriptions or?
He left. He left.
Oh, come on, Rob. You're just playing.
Wow, he's not in a good mood today. He better come back. Anyway,
it's that cardio on the beach, Vinny. That resistance when you pull your legs up from the sand. That's where you're losing the weight.
You know what I'm doing, man? 3.1 miles a day. I'm doing a 5K a morning, trying to at least. I'm going to go do that after I'm done with the show.
You're doing it in kilometers.
Nice.
Because I was going to ask, why 3.1 miles? You're doing it in kilometers. You're doing it like the rest of the world does it.
So my wife is a runner. My wife loves to run. She's into it and all that stuff. My wife should not be married to me. She shouldn't.
Right, Carl told me she's a bitch or a cunt or something. I don't know.
You want to fight? You want to go now? Go now.
Josh, front row.
That's what Carl Heberger, Heberg, told me.
You did say that once. No, my wife, she's way into running and stuff, and I thought it'd be fun to just like surprise her and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna run a 5K."
Wow.
She'll be like, "What?"
Wait, is this your bullpucky story?
That's what I was wanting to know. I was like, is he telling the truth here?
Sure. That can be. It's true. That's 100% true. I'm actually looking at scheduling the first one I'm going to do at like the end of June. So I'm going to actually go do that shit.
Is this going to be like Stuttering John's stand-up show at the Comedy of the Carlson though? Like, is it you got to cancel it a few months out?
The people at the race reneged on a contract, and I will have to cancel, of course.
Oh, very good.
Okay,
All right,
so
it's your turn. It's your turn to go. Give me a headline to a story from your life.
comedian ruins grand opening of brand new comedy club.
Oof. Comedian ruins grand opening of brand new comedy club. Just Josh. You have 3 questions.
Okay. What was the name of the comedy club?
Comedy at the Carlson.
Oh wow. I know what my first question would have been. But I know a little bit more about Vinny than you do.
Okay. Was it the what? Did the jokes not land? I guess that's my next question. Did the jokes not land? Did
No. Jokes landed.
jokes landed?
Jokes are great.
Okay.
Come on, Josh. You better not fucking miss the obvious question.
You're doing
that
worse
should have been
than
the
I
lead
did.
off. Remind him what the headline was again.
Yeah.
Comedian ruins grand opening of brand new comedy club.
He didn't show up.
Well, that's not a question. That's a
Okay.
statement.
Did you show up for the
Well, the joke's landed, I
Eventually.
guess.
Eventually.
Oh,
Eventually
no.
is the answer to that.
Well, he's throwing meatballs over the plate for you here, Josh.
Spencer Strider.
You've asked 3 questions. What is he telling the truth or is it bullpucky?
He's telling me the truth.
Vinny?
Robbie's looking at me funny.
I didn't ruin it. But I came damn near close. So this is, I mean, off the fly, guys. This is on the fly. I was trying to think of this. When
it's great.
the club that I work for now first opened, I was booked as the opening weekend MC for their grand opening. And I was hosting for Mike Birbiglia, if you're familiar with Mike at all. Love Mike. Was so excited to be there. But at the time, we were building the podcast studio for the club. So I was kind of emceeing the shows, but we were also in the back putting equipment and running cables and doing tests on stuff. So we were back there and I was working with another guy before the show started because he was back there working. When I was done with my stuff, whatever. So I'm in the back and it is not close to where the stage is. The owner of the club, Mark Ippolito, saw a guy who kind of looked like me and was like, oh, Vinny's here. Let's start the show. Even though he was supposed to come back and tell me 5 minutes before they were going to start. He thought he saw me. So the lights go down. This is the first show at the new club. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Comedy at the Carlson. He's got Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle going on. And there's 350 people in the room. They're losing their minds. Give it up for your host and MC to his colleges and clubs all over the country. Give it up for Vinnie Paulino. And there was fucking no one. There was nobody there, kids. I was 3 giant rooms the other way away. So Mark comes running in the door, flings open the studios, and he points at me and goes, "You're on." And at the time, I was a little heavier than I am now. I booked my fat ass.
Kool-Aid.
As fast as I could. And I couldn't get, because there were so many people in front of the bar still, because they were there were people there just hanging out to check out the new place. I couldn't get through the back entrance to get to the green room to go out to the stage. I had to go through the showroom. So I fling the doors open and there's a server there and I'm ducking through past the server. And there's just, all I see in front of me is an empty stage with the lights on and people all around going, the fuck is going on? What is this gin? What kind of gin joint are they running here? Like, what the fuck is? And I get up to the stage, and I have to think about what the fuck to say.
Did you do the old boy? I just flew in from wherever, and my arms are tired.
I didn't know what to do, so the switch flipped in my brain as I was walking towards the stage, and I immediately slowed down. Did Rob die? Oh, he's okay. So in my brain, I slowed down, and I walked up on stage, and I walked up to the microphone, and I was wearing like a blazer, so I adjusted my blazer a little bit, and I like kind of dusted my shirt, my sleeve, and I went, "What? I was busy."
That's good.
And the place lost their fucking minds laughing. And then I was like, all right, welcome to the club. And I started doing shit. But like, that's what I did. I didn't know what else to do. I just had to like play it up like, no, fuck you guys. It's your fault. Like, but
Would
yeah,
have been even better if you wiped your mouth as well. That would have been.
Oh shit!
I was busy.
I was with the manager. Okay.
How do you think I got this gig?
Yeah, there it is.
I can totally respect that because as a singer, I mean, it's like no matter how prepared you are, there's always going to be moments where just shit hits the fan. It's like, all right, what are you going to do?
Moment, J Scoop, I would have killed to have been a singer. There would have been a band there. I could have like pretended like, oh, it's part of the show. I got to do jokes. It's just me and a microphone now, and like either the room hates me or they're gonna like me. I gotta win these people over. It's a fucking war.
But that's just it. Like I feel like I've been thrust into your world when all of a sudden, oh, guess what? None of the instruments are working, and there's Jesse with the mic. All right, motherfucker, what do you have to say? It's like, did you guys hear the one about the, and I don't fucking know how to do that. So I'm just like freaking out. Yeah.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah. No, well, I guess you guessed true. No, that's right. No, Vinny you didn't ruin it, did you? That was
no.
You didn't ruin it. So you win outright. You don't have to go to the judges.
Josh, you should have just said how as your first question, so then we could have found out how he got ruined.
Hey man, it was my first bullpucky, all right.
It was mine too, but I knew if I used the term ruined, because it really wasn't ruined. I had a good set and the show was fine, that I would win on the technicality. So sorry, just Josh.
Hey, you threw me off. It's all good. It's
J Scoop once won a bullpucky by saying he once had, what was it, $10 million in his hands?
Yeah.
Because he had a $10 million check that wasn't his. You know what I mean? But like technically he did have $10 million in his hand. Like it was like technically you win, but that's pretty shitty. You know,
our former co-host, wasn't she the one who was doing? She was pissed about that.
Yeah, we had a 35-minute argument about that I edited out of the podcast. But
we did.
Yeah. You weren't there, Robbie. I don't think. Anyway.
Oh, so I was the only one that got in trouble. Never mind. That's a different story for a different day.
Yeah. Point being is, had it been a draw, Vinny would have won because that story was fun.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. I liked it.
But he didn't murder anybody. Josh did. So you're discounting.
Hey, we don't know that. Hey, we don't know that as a fact. We don't know that as a fact.
Allegedly.
Oh, bullpucky.
Sorry,
I'm calling bullpucky on that shit.
Yeah, I murdered an entire room of 350 people. So.
There it is.
Okay. How dare you?
Well played, Mr. Paulino.
How dare you?
Look, you've been very generous with your time, and I'm not kicking you out. You're welcome to stay, but I'm sure you've got plenty to do because you are one of the big wigs down at the Cracker Factory. So yeah, if you want to hit your plugs and get going, we're going to talk some OJ Simpson and a documentary we watched. So yeah, if you want to stick around, you can, but otherwise, hit your plugs. And
I actually took today off to do my taxes, so I got to get that shit done. If you don't mind, check out the Creep Off. We have a great YouTube channel. You go to thecreepoff.com. We have a lot of fun on that show. It's Carl from WATP and myself. And then I do a show with Cardiff Electric, the Potato, every Monday night called Subreddit Surfing, where we check out different subreddits. You can check out that channel as well. And then I also host the Comedy at the Carlson Cast, where I interview comedians who are playing the club every week. Not every week, a lot. I just did one with Natalie Cuomo the other day. I had Pat McGann on. I've had, in the last year, Kyle Kinane, some real funny people. So you can check that out wherever you listen to podcasts. And I truly appreciate you having me on, Aussie guy. It's been really nice to meet you guys.
No, I really appreciate it. It's been a fun conversation. Sometimes with a really good guest, it's easy
Not
to just
a good guest.
No, you are a good guest because it's easy to just disappear into different conversations. So no, I appreciated it. I appreciate you joining us, and we definitely got a bump in live viewers for a period there. I think we did hit 11 at one point. So you've definitely.
And I started talking, and they fucking left again.
Yeah, you're not at Tukey levels. I think Tukey peaked out.
It was
at
up to like
43.
59 or something.
No, I don't think we got that high. I think we got.
Oh,
in
then
the
it was
40s.
it was a number and then 9. It must have been 49 then. It was a lot for us.
Yes, no, it was amazing, but
I'll never be Tukey. I'll never be able to do it.
Rocco's a monster. He's fucking amazing.
He's the best. I hung out with that guy in Tampa for the first time, and he and I had a fucking blast. He rules. Love that guy.
The funniest thing I've actually heard recently, and this is Rocco being unaware, which was hilarious. He on his stream, he said, "I was strapped the whole time in Miami, in Tampa. Nobody knew, and then someone pointed out to him, it's like, being strapped while wearing a mask, probably not a good idea."
In Florida,
he realized in real time that was a fucking dumb thing to do. Like, yeah,
good point.
He's one of the funniest people around, Rocco, but also just having a stuttering John moment, I guess, of like, fuck, I didn't think about that. You're right. It was great. Thank you, Vinny.
That's news to me that he did it. Nice seeing you guys. Take it easy and Godspeed. Act right. Nice to be important. Bye.
It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice, right?
More important to be nice. Adios, guys. Later.
Thank you, Vinny. Appreciate it, man. Vinnie Paulino, ladies and gentlemen.
What's the Cracker Factory, and how does it rank against the Cracker Barrel?
You don't know that Simpsons bit? He's a big deal down at the Cracker Factory. You've never heard?
I'm irritated. I started off with my laptop. Everything looked fine. Then that crashed. Then I switched to my iPad that was at 70%, and somehow it shut off. So now I'm on my phone, and it looks even more unprofessional than usual. I want to break something.
And the best part is when you would laugh, your belly would make it go.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh, shit.
Oh, gee. You need to deal with your rage issues. Speaking of rage issues.
Your body's in the...
I just pounded the table. Get over it. I've done worse.
All right. Speaking of rage issues, OJ Simpson died this week. And he died the day before my birthday, which was nice. Thanks, guys, by the way. We'll go back actually up in the chat. Where was it? Get My Go said, "Happy birthday, Aussie guy," and stuff and everything. Thank you, Get My Go.
See, I even got you the hat for your birthday.
Yeah. Well, that was probably...
it just worked out that way that the
it was actually before my birthday, but no, I did appreciate the fact that all of my co-hosts reached out to me on my birthday and said happy birthday and all that.
I did.
It was very kind of all of them.
Well, isn't it today?
I didn't even know.
No, it was fucking Thursday.
Oh shit!
I don't care. I'm not.
I got it most years. I can't believe
I'm not a child. I don't care.
No, I wouldn't feel bad because I know you don't feel bad. But Justin wished you a happy birthday, and the fact he remembered I didn't is actually
but he did it like a day and a half early.
Yeah, it's still for Justin. That's like right on the dot.
Wait a minute, I called bullpucky. You just said a moment ago, is it today? But now you're saying Justin did it a day and a half early.
I don't know what's going on with this. You're right, Jay Scoop.
That's a good point. I'll give you that. Justin wished me. I appreciated Justin, the biggest loser in the world.
Well, I would be.
Birthday.
I mean, I know Goatman's in a tough spot right now, so if anyone's can think about it, that'd be great.
Goatman would have wished me a happy birthday if he wasn't.
He's dealing with some
probably
issues,
a bigger loser than Justin.
I used to think he was joking, but he swears he's not joking. But it's one of those like people that I think it's a long running bit with him. But he claims that he swears that Justin's gay, and I never believed it till this morning. But now
Justin's gay.
Yeah, I mean, he said Sydney Sweeney's overrated, and then he texted me saying she's nothing special to look at.
Did Justin have elective surgery or selective surgery?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of surgeries lately. I don't know what they did to him. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you say that about Sweeney. That's like an automatic comeback for him. You say somebody's hot, he's probably gonna say they're not just because he.
But I mean, he said it. He said it unprovoked before.
He's doubled down on it when I've said it. You know what I mean?
And he's kind of afraid of Ozzy, so usually he doesn't throw out open punchlines around.
Not even just that, but like I'm confirmed not gay by people in a gay club. Like I was outed as heterosexual like within 5 minutes of walking into a gay club.
Outed as not gay. What the fuck?
Go into a gay club and see if nobody hits on you, and people walk over to you and go,
"That's
you look
validation."
Yeah. Walking into a gay club and having nobody hit on you is the most heterosexual compliment you can ever get.
Well, I think I told you guys one time, but I had a friend and he was worried how I was going to react to a friend of his who was gay. He goes, you know, he's gay, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't have a problem with it. I'm like, as long as if he hits on me and I tell him I'm not interested and he keeps bothering me, then it'll be an issue. And then they go, oh, he said he doesn't find you attractive, so you don't have to worry about it. And I was like, what? I was offended. I was like, wait a minute, I want to be attracted to this guy.
There was a guy I played at our cricket club, and he was, there was talk of him being gay, and then some like sort of uncomfortable charges came up to where perhaps he was inappropriate with teenage boys, anyway, so all this stuff came out that, he was this gay guy and like I remember hearing it and going, that cunt drove me home. He drove me home, didn't even put a hand on my leg. Nothing. Like, how insulting that is. The guy's willing.
You want to get dark for a second or not?
Oh, let's do it. Let's do
okay.
it. Hang on. Can we tell Tukey to send the 800 people over? Because this would be.
No, I swear to freaking God that I didn't have this train of thought until now. But I had a teacher that was molesting other kids at one point, and I never knew till he got arrested, and there was never any attempt to molest me. What should I make of that?
I mean, there would never be any attempt to molest you.
He probably thought you were an adult that was an assistant in there because of how big you were.
You were one of the lucky ones,
what should you think of that? You're incredibly unattractive. That's what you should think about that.
That was a joke. Thank you.
Robbie.
That's a true story, by the way.
Really?
I don't know if you'll ever come across it, because when I listened to it, it was on cassette tape. But there was a Martin Lawrence.
Said to Robbie.
There was a Martin Lawrence stand-up that he did. I think it was called Talking Shit. But anyway, somewhere in there, he's talking about how he did this drive across country with this guy who's starting to get a little like touchy-feely, and how he's talking to him. And it's an interesting bit, so I won't ruin it. But Martin Lawrence, he's fucking hilarious. So he does a pretty cool spin on the old, no, I'm not gay. Wait, what?
Shane's here. We've always got to recognize Shane. Oh. I assume that means Scoop. You're a good-looking dude, and I'm not Diddy. I have 4 kids. So
I've never felt more old than having to Google what does "I'm not Diddy" mean.
Well, no Diddy. Yeah.
Whatever. Just go with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that guy for NC State was like no Diddy when he was like 4 inches.
How did you not get that?
Because I'd never heard it before, and I assumed that it meant something like that, but I had never heard the phrase.
You'd heard everything about Diddy, though, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know. I didn't know he's banging guys.
Well, apparently, he's banging everyone.
Really? I thought it was just like an R. Kelly situation. I didn't know it was like full blown.
Well, no, he was apparently.
Not that that makes it any worse or not worse.
Oh, apparently he blew out bloody Justin Bieber and Usher and shit. I mean, these are all alleged, but
wait, what?
Shane Edmondson again. Shane wanted to ask Ozzy, what is your favorite Josh and JS Coop song?
JS Coop, is he?
And by the way, he's not off the hook about the gay thing, because I mean, Caitlyn Jenner, that has children too, so
that's true.
But
also,
let me get back to this. Wanted to ask Ozzy, what is your favorite Josh and JS Coop song? to Josh and Scoop the
I
same
know. Mine.
question about
Inquisition.
Aussie. My favorite was you guys did the that didn't you do the Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah,
I love that. That's one of my
Tornado.
favorite songs. That's the despite all my rage.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. It was
you
like
did that
Bullet
one?
with Corona
Bullet with
bat
Cor-
wings.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's always stood out to me as I don't remember the lyrics and everything, but I just remember hearing it, and you did a video with it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I spent an obscene amount of time on that fucking video.
It was good
I
though.
think I
You
did one or
you
two
did.
more videos, and I was like, all right, we're just doing the fucking songs now. This is insane.
Yeah. No, that was like I said, I've always loved that song. I think it's Smashing Pumpkins' best song. But what you guys did with that song, I
That was a
remember
fun
hearing
one,
it
man.
at the time
That was fun.
and going, that was
He said
great.
same question for us. Now, for me, I think of impressions. Like I haven't a favorite impression, but I assume from his question song. So I'm like,
Yeah, I've not really done a lot
Do
of
I get
songs.
to answer?
Go impressions. Well,
Go,
yeah,
Robbie.
Robbie, you answer.
So I first want to say the best song of all of them, Josh or not Josh involved, was that Sports I Miss You. And if Scoop would have released that in the middle of the pandemic, then before instead of like a week before sports first started up again, I would bet my life
That's
that
the
would have
Blink
gone like
182 one?
super viral.
Is that Blink 182?
Scoop was even like, that's going to go viral, but then like a week later, everything started up again, and everyone's like, I don't miss sports anymore. What's like literally a week after that song started, Manfrod was like, oh, we're going to have a 90-game season.
Yeah.
But in terms of your guys' collab, I thought the most unique, so that the one I liked the most was the the boat, the one where they go to space. Yeah, that one.
Mallor Odyssey.
Yeah.
I love
I Googled that song.
Sorry, I love how you went the
like,
David. No, not the Boa. No, not that. It is like literally David Bowie was what you were looking for.
Yeah, but do you know that's the original song's actually about him like shooting heroin or something?
It's not shocking.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
That's a shocker.
David Bowie in the 70s? Yeah.
Fucking Ziggy Stardust?
Yeah. You know what was cool about the Sports Dude I Miss You was I'm fucking with the video software that I have that's badass, and it's like
can you tell us what that video software is? Because we could use it.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Oh, it's Final Cut Pro. It's like
I can't afford Final Cut Pro, all right?
But anyway,
I don't have a pen on me.
Anyway, me using that is like how they say human uses like 17% of their brain or whatever. Like I know how to use like about 5% of that thing's capability. But anyways, I found in that, if you remember the original video, you got the three guys and they're playing side by side. I'm like, oh, I got to figure out how to put three of me in there. And so
wait, those were all you?
Yeah, they were all me. But the thing is, the best way is you have a green screen. Well, I didn't have a green screen, a green sheet, or anything. Well, I'm like,
me stand behind you wearing a green shirt.
All right, how many times are you going to interrupt me saying this fucking story? I'm going to fucking beat your ass. Anyway, I learned that it technically doesn't matter what color you use. The problem is anything that's in the foreground that has that color, it's going to be out of there. That's why you can't wear green, right? On a green screen. So I decided to try a brown sheet behind me. Oh my God. If you watch that fucking video, you can see, hey, you know what? Some things have more brown in it than you realize. But anyways, it was such a, like, in high school, maybe you have a project and you're just throwing shit together. Like, let's see what sticks. My drummer, Travis Barker, and me, I had a black sock tied down the middle of my head for my mohawk. I was like playing on a clock with a whisk and something. I don't remember. But anyways, it was a lot of fun doing that. And I remember, Robbie, just like you were saying, I was like almost done. And I even had that line in there about, you know, Roger Goodell, you know, bring it back or something, and then I'm like, oh shit, dude, they're already saying they're about to come back. Like, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But I was happy it was coming back because we were only doing that was like the third song in a row that was about Corona, and I don't know if you remember, Josh. I was like, we gotta start singing about other shit.
Yeah,
I'm tired of singing about Corona fucking virus.
That was the end of the Corona shit.
And that being said, Ozzy has an unreleased song called Coronavirus that is legendary. Only maybe one or two of us have ever heard it, but and he was shocked and floored why he sent it to Ben Maller and it wouldn't get played, yet probably 50% of it's fucking F words or something like that. I don't remember, but I was just like, why are you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised. No, I was playing it up. I just because you guys have done a coronavirus song, and so I did it to the I did it to the tune of Elton John's fucking what's that song?
Rocket Man?
No, not Rocket Man.
Tiny
The one
Dancer.
something a bitch?
Tiny Dancer.
Coronavirus.
Yeah. So we hit the chorus, and the chorus
you have to play it.
Yeah, I'd have to find it, but yeah, the chorus.
I have it.
Yeah, do you? Yeah.
Yes.
Go fuck yourself, coronavirus.
Dude, it was bad. Like at first, I was just like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
You did it to Tiny Dancer.
I listened to it again. I was like, "This is a masterpiece." Like this is. It was just like the year you. I still think we were the best. I can't remember if Josh was involved, but still, your Biggie year talent show that was bad. Of course, the best line was, "And if you don't know, now you know, militia."
The mistake I made on that, and peeling back the onion, they switched it from, because the year before it had been 2 minutes or 90 seconds, and they switched it to 60 seconds, and I wasn't aware of that because I hadn't been listening closely. But I tuned in. I was like, "Oh, I've been working on this song. That I should never have done the chorus, because I did the chorus right after the Biggie Smalls rap. I did the chorus, and that lost me points. If I had have ended on "If you don't know, now you know, militia," if that was the end of it, I might have beat you that year, Scoot. I might have with that. That's
whenever they go, oh, he's still going, you know, it's a bad sign, right?
We thought that was the end. We thought.
Yeah.
It's okay. Same thing happened that next year when they go, "Oh, we're gonna have a live category and a recorded category," and I was like, "Oh!" And I spent all my time on the recorded thing, and all they played was, it's still legendary, but "Hey Mona" was the only recorded thing they played, and they didn't play my thing, which was like I put a bunch of drops together and made this thing. It was awesome. And then I just spent some time on a live thing, and that was the only thing I got to do. And I was just like, well, I already know I'm done. And then Ozzy did his bit, and this leads into what I would have said is my favorite, was when you did your impression of me. It was so fucking cool. I was just like, dude, that sounds just like me. How did he do that?
That was the thing, because I got accused, and the proudest moment I've ever had was when the guy emailed Ben or whatever and said the Aussie guy was playing drops. Like
somebody said that about one of Jay Scoop's things too.
Oh yeah, they said I was playing recorded stuff all the time when I was live.
But that was the thing, when even if you accuse Scoop of being pre-recorded, that's still Scoop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he was
doing auto-tune to oblivion or something.
I got accused of playing drops that weren't me, and I was like, "Are you like?" The thing was, I picked drops because you hear the drops so often, you impersonate the drops. And so, for you, Scoop, and now I've forgotten what the drop was, but there is a list.
Any better.
That's right. If I was any better.
It goes to show, but it wouldn't be my Mallard.
Yeah, that's right.
It was perfect. Even when I played it, then in the name of Ben, I gave it the tip of the hat. And I listened to it. I'm like, that's not fucking Ozzy guy. I don't care who you. That's me. Yeah.
But that's what's funny is they all said my Regina was. They're like, Regina was perfect. It was spot on. No, it wasn't. Like it wasn't even close. I just went, you know what I mean? Like that was literally the entire impression. They were like, it was perfect. I was like, no, it wasn't even close. But then there was some where I was perfect, and they didn't even know who I was fucking impersonating. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's like a couple times I've seen interviews with David Spade or Dana Carvey and Fred Armisen, and they do impressions all the time. And they go, you don't have to like do everything exact. You find that with those one or two things about them that just, and then you just fucking parody the shit out of that or whatever. And so the Regina thing, it's like you didn't have to, you did the thing that everybody would be like, oh knows. God, that's it.
Because Coop thought my Chris in Houston was
Real Talk.
No, it was Judgmental John.
Yeah, no, sorry.
He thought my Chris in Houston was Judgmental John, and I was like, I can see it. I could see it listening back to it. But no, I'd based it on Chris. Yeah, no, that was. I think I still have an envelope. It was an envelope, some mail. I wrote a list of the people I was going to impersonate in the order that I was going to do them. And there's 20 people written down on the back of an envelope. And that's the envelope I held in front of me when I called in and did that. That's my best moment on the BML show by far.
That's so funny though. The guy's like, hey, those were drops, but that's just it. And then the complaints will be no matter what you do, because like those first 3 years I did live, and every time they said I was recording. Then we went to recorded, and they're like, it didn't count for shit because now they're doing recorded. It's like, you motherfuckers, man. Like you can't win.
You cannot win with them. It doesn't matter.
One thing I'll quickly say about my year, because there was the guy, he did the Tom Brady parody song, and the crew actually gave him higher votes than they gave me. But then the fans, the listeners, voted me the winner. And I'll never forget it, because Eddie was the difference maker. Right? He gave that other guy 10. He only gave me 9. That was the one vote different. And I'll never forget when they played it again a few days later and it ended, and Eddie just went, that's even more impressive the second time.
He knew.
Some of that voting, man, is just like, what the hell?
If you go early, they wouldn't, like Blind Scott was the finalist one year, even though it was horrible, just because they didn't know like what the grading curve should be, because a lot of them acts aren't very good, but they don't want to just give ones to everybody, So Ben was like, it wasn't good. I'll give it a 6.5. And they didn't realize that by the end of the night, that 6.5 made him one of the top 4 people. Yeah. And if you went early, you had a built-in advantage because no one knew they would grade way too high.
Yeah, well, especially that first year, Rachel and Montebello, they gave her 46 or something, and so and that's why I still have the recording of me.
A dunk contest score. It's like
well, and so I still have the recording of me. It makes me laugh because I was just like, well, I'm just gonna talk about how I need a pep talk right now because this score is fucking insane, and I was talking about the Cal Stanford play with all the laterals. I was like, that's what I'm gonna have to do right now to win this thing. And Ben's like, I don't like your attitude. You're being defeatist right now. You already. So it's really fun to listen to, because I remember I was like, there's no way I'm gonna fucking win this. They gave her way too high a score, rest in peace, Rachel. But she she deserved a good score, especially that first year, man. There was no fucking talent. It was like Ozzy, you should have fell down getting first or top 3, but you just had blown your wad like a couple weeks earlier or whatever. So
well, I'd done impersonations of callers, and then I did different impersonations which weren't callers. I do remember the same thing, because I was at work and I was like, I'm going to call in later after work, and I heard all these scores early on. I'm like, well, either I've got to get all 10s or I'm going to get fucked. it was just crazy. But
But two quick pieces of trivia. But you reminded me of the one. So you had a split vote between the crew and the public, and so did was it the girl, the violinist Pam, I think, and I don't remember it was the burp guy or whatever, but they split also.
Burp guy, that was funny.
Yeah, they split last year also. So far, still the only undisputed all 4 years. Me. Eventually, it's got to happen the other way. But the other thing I was going to say is
I can say I'm the only person that's ever beaten both of you. You never beat Josh. You never beat Josh. I beat you both.
Yeah. Well, depends on how you look at it. Josh didn't compete against me on.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The year I won it, Josh was runner up. So he beat you.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking. I gotta go for second or third now, and say fuck that. As soon as
I'm just saying, I'm the only one who's beaten both of you.
Yeah, I remember.
That's awesome. But I think there's a more impressive achievement that you have.
You're the best. You're the goat. You're the goat of the talent show.
No, but I'm saying you have a better achievement, and that achievement is
he beat both of us. But Ozzy, when you did that, he basically Scoop came to me and said, "We got to do something together." And that's how we came about taking you down. That's how it happened.
That's not how it happened.
That's how I remember it, damn it.
After we were doing our Corona stuff, then it was like, well, it only makes sense that we would make one of these for the
I scared you. I
will say.
You had to team up with Josh. You're like, there's no way we're ever beating this guy ever again. We have to do it together.
The beer drinking Brian song. After we had pretty much put that one together, we were just
we thought we had kind of done like what you had done the first years. We thought we blew our wad by releasing that too early because it was probably the best one out of those. No, I remember thinking about it. I was like, how is this going to look if we then separate and compete separately when we've done a bunch of songs now together? I was like, I just kept like weighing how it would be. And I was just like, this doesn't make sense. We need to do it together. But going back to your finest achievement, Ozzy, in my opinion.
All right, let's talk about my finest.
Is until this last year, you were a part of every single winning performance in the talent show.
True. Yeah,
because you were in every single because
the first one, I think the first one.
I included you somewhere in the lines. I don't remember what it was because I know we've gone over this before, but you've somehow been mentioned.
No, I think I went. I think I went 3 straight. I think that was the thing. I think that was. So in terms of I won it, and then my voice was heard, or I was something along those lines in 3 straight years. Yeah.
Somehow you were mentioned in every single one until this last one. Pam didn't include you in her violin, and the burper didn't say your name.
No.
He didn't burp. He didn't.
Which maybe he did. You wouldn't know because he was burping. All right, this is going along, and we did actually do some prep for this show. We all actually watched something this week, and we need to get onto it because it is important. We all, because of the death of the legendary running back of the Buffalo Bills, OJ Simpson, legendary murderer? ? We all watched a documentary. Hang on, let me just pull it up.
What a crock of shit that was.
Can we just calm down? I mean, fair income.
What a hack.
Fair income. Don't be
that was the link. Sorry, that was
ulcerated knucklehead.
Yes.
A what?
Yes.
A butt ulcerated knucklehead. Clearly, you didn't watch Chopper.
Yeah, that's coming up in 2 weeks. All right, let's calm down.
2 weeks.
No, I just wanted to find the link just so I could confirm exactly what it said. The YouTube documentary we watched is called OJ Simpson is Innocent, concrete proof his son committed the murders. Concrete proof that his son committed the murders.
Oh my God.
I've been at this for a couple of hours now, so I could do with a wee, a whiz, piss, whatever, however you want to word it.
It's this happened, and then this happened, and then that happened. Then he was the killer.
Shut up! You're last. You're going last now. In fact, I'm taking you out of the room. Just
What?
because
Yes.
he's annoyed me now. Josh was the first one to be fully convinced. So, Josh, you hit us first with your take on this documentary. Did OJ do it, or was it his son? Go, Josh.
Well, I guess that's really only going to be known between God and whoever committed the murder. But I am strongly leaning hard to looking at OJ's kid after watching this documentary. I mean, I never knew any of the side stuff with this, with Jason being a chef, very good with knives. There's a lot of things that would say, hey, he looks like a suspect. You'd at least check the guy out. So as far as him not being checked out, I don't understand. But yeah, after watching this, the guy's legit. I don't know why Robbie's saying he's a quack. I mean, his stuff looks, his credentials are legit. I mean, after watching that, you have to look at it with an open eye and say, yeah, it's possible. It's very possible. So I'd definitely say I'm kind of leaning towards looking at it that way. Maybe it wasn't OJ. Maybe OJ was just trying to fucking cover for his dad or cover for his son.
Sorry, I did leave you swinging the breeze there for a second, but it was kind of funny to me because I knew you were done. But I was like, no, I'm going to let him.
Just keep going. Just ramble on, motherfucker. Ramble on.
See if he can stretch this a little bit longer.
Like the manager at the comedy at the Carlson or whatever.
Hey, yeah, I mean, I just got here. What the fuck do you think I'm doing?
I'm just going to bring up Shane's comment here. Ozzy, would you send me the 20 impressions bit you did, please, sir? No hurry. I know you have other shit to do. Yeah, I think you kind of get the point. Go find it yourself, cunt. Like, what the fuck am I going to waste my time finding that? What year? That was 2020. It was 2020 during the pandemic, and I think it might have been around June, July, somewhere around there.
Download the Ben Mallard podcast.
Yeah, go to the Ben Mallard podcast.
In the archive somewhere, man.
But
and they are getting.
I think we do need to actually, Shane. No, this is your job now. Actually, Shane, you've fucking brought this on yourself. You need to go find all of the talent shows that the three of us, because the untalented one is off screen. The three of us have won all the talent shows. Shane, it's your job to go find all of that audio and send it to me, mailtownmedia@gmail.com. Jay Scoop, you checked out the OJ son did it documentary. Sorry, I got distracted.
I knew you were done, but I'm just leaving you in the wind.
No, that was me getting incredibly distracted by something else going on my screen. Initial thoughts. Like, we're going to get into stuff that stood out to you and all that, but just what was your overall takeaway, Jay Scoop, from this documentary?
Well, unfortunately, with things like this, you're having to go on the fact that is everything that they're saying true. You know, like they're saying that they verified this. They say that this is legit. Oh, he said a million times, as an investigator, I don't know you're really a fucking investigator. So obviously, we're having to take some of what he's saying for what it is, but. It was compelling to me. He definitely is making me wonder. I know that all along I felt that there's no way that OJ did this alone. Either he, had some kind of connection to it, and this was a little bit of a different angle from that. I always felt that either he was there with somebody else or he had somebody else do it. In this case, he would be adjacent to it. He didn't condone it, but yet somebody was there, and so it's still, you know what I mean? And so I was like, oh, that's it. it's still like to the side, but not the way I thought.
Did you not see the pun you just did there?
Oh,
He'd be adjacent to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I love a little bit of wordplay, Scoop. What do you want from me?
Yeah, it's good.
I'm not seeing any screen here, but we'll bring the little baby back. I want my baby back, baby back.
Oh, we got inside his stomach.
There he
is.
is.
There we go.
Oi, hello. All right, Robbie.
Wait,
Come
what?
on. What's your thoughts?
What happened?
What?
Nothing.
We need a Robbie doll that's one of the 5 things the string does.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it
was like
taco.
this guy would be like, in my opinion, if this happened and then this happened and then this happened, then the Jason had to do it. But there's no proof the first of the 5 ifs had happened.
All right, good stuff, Robbie.
I will say the only thing that threw me off. The only thing that threw me off was when the guy was like, "I had Marcus Allen as a suspect." Marcus Allen?
No. If you've watched enough stuff, you would know why Marcus Allen is.
Okay, yeah. Because I wondered if there was
him and Nicole were a little bit closer,
and that's where I would go with the Jason thing. Was Jason hot for stepmom? Don't ask me. I mean, maybe there was a jealousy factor, something.
Robbie,
they said he was wackadoo, right? So that immediately made it to where he could be in the running. You know what I mean? Like the second they said that, and I love how they ponied it up to his childhood drama. And I'm sorry, but like, I just don't. I know how you could be like, obviously fucked up by shit that happens in your past. I mean, hello, but to make it that where you have seizures and things like that, I didn't know that was a possibility, like
I got it. Robbie, are you there? I was just being a dick. It's fine. Come on.
You're inside his stomach again.
Sorry. All right. No, seriously. I knew you were rolled up and I just wanted to play with you for a second. Oh, look, my hands are back here.
It's not the first time you heard that today. I want to play with you for a second. All right. Anyway.
Carry on,
Robbie, I'm curious. Like, do you think he did it?
I was getting to it, and then, now I'm fucking paranoid.
Well, this camera angle is phenomenal.
I'm paranoid.
There, you can look at the dead body.
All right, then. Yeah.
Looking at cotton candy in the ceiling.
What are your thoughts, Robbie?
Well, of course, with my ADHD brain.
What are your thoughts on concrete proof that his son
What?
did it? What are your thoughts on concrete proof that his son did it?
I mean, I don't see any concrete proof that his son did it. Yes, his son had issues, but none of the issues he had weren't ones that OJ didn't have. And in fact, I have a screenshot that I don't know how to post on here, but even one of the articles that they did that where it'll zoom in on a certain passage and highlight it in the doc, if you pause it and look for, like on the same screenshot they were using to try to make it seem like Jason, oh, this leads you to Jason, the same person goes, Jason's just like his dad, so it's not his fault. He takes just after his dad. So he's taking after his dad. What do you mean? He's taking after his violent behavior? And then it came out.
Are you talking about the diary entries?
No, it was that like the press clipping thing on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also, like, it came out a couple days ago that there's a chance that the USC made a bunch of people sign NDAs for domestic assault that OJ had at USC. There was at least one other domestic assault of Nicole before the murder happened. One of the times she called 911 on OJ, she's like, just send the cops over. And the person's like, well, who is it? She goes, well, they know who it is. Like, they almost like they have frequent flyer miles with the cops, with them coming over all the time to defuse stuff. And then a couple of years ago, there was this documentary, or not, it was like a TV special, but it was on the anniversary of when OJ was going to release that book where If I Was the Killer thing.
If I did it, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was called. And they were saying that... What?
I was just going with facts.
I know. I wasn't...
Continue. I love how
gist of the
easy
book
it is
was
to
how
floss
he would
to
have
you.
done it.
I know. I just love how easy it is to floss to you.
Well,
The thing is, right? The thing is, your main thing was there's no way OJ didn't do it. And
No.
wait, let me finish. It's really quick. So far, everything that you're saying, it makes sense, and I've known a lot of that stuff too, and so yeah, a lot of that stuff. It's like, okay, this paints a picture that OJ could be the killer, but you can't say definitively 100% sure that he did it. But at the same time, wait, the last thing that I'm trying to say is that nothing in what you have just said has ruled out his son either. So all I'm saying is you can't 100% say. You know what I mean?
I'm getting to it.
All right.
Okay.
Bring it.
Sorry.
It's like you're rounding fucking third base. It's taking a while.
Rounding third and headed for home. Let's go.
This is a disaster. Like, I can't even get any. Oh, my God. Anyway, now I've completely lost what I had a particular train I was like locomotive thing I was following, and it has gone to hell.
A particular locomotive thing.
See, I can't even get my words out.
Once Robbie gets momentum going, it's like a bear running down the hill. If the weight gets ahead of the feet, it's
the Homer Simpson, Indiana Jones boulder.
Yeah. It just wipes out.
Also, the Jason thing, they just completely not the Jason thing, but they completely glossed over the fact they mentioned it, but barely, that OJ bought a knife, one of those stiletto knives, and they're like, "Well, a stiletto knife couldn't do such a thing." I just finished a book where there was this Marine unit on Okinawa that was going around, and they would go in the back jungles scouting out positions, and they would kill Japanese soldiers with fucking stiletto knives.
Yeah. So you're talking
butcher somebody with a stiletto knife. And in fact,
you're talking highly trained military, as opposed to a running back.
Yeah, a running back with bad legs who is not trained that way. But that wasn't the point. The point is that the medical examiner said it's not done by this knife. It's not just the style. Yeah, I remember that part. They're saying this wasn't the style knife, but they know exactly what type of knife does these stabs, and they ruled it out.
Well, he ruled it out. The one they put on the stand,
medical examiners.
That medical examiner, but he wasn't the medical examiner actually that took the stand in the case said it was the knife. And in fact, if it wasn't, why did OJ tried to pawn it off a couple of years ago? There's now granted the Daily Mail's a reputable website, but they
OJ was telling
had an article
murder
saying
knife,
that
was
he was trying to sell it to an unnamed buyer for $5 million, the knife that he bought that day, and it told the unnamed buyer that
he told the unnamed buyer. So he sold the murder knife. He's like, this is the
tried.
knife I killed my wife with. He did this, did he?
Had it authenticated by PSA.
No, knowing that there's no statute of limitations on murder.
That's not true.
Attempted to sell the knife that he committed a murder with.
Dude, are you going to let me talk? Or if he would have come out a second after the trial when he was found not guilty and said, "I actually did it," it's called double jeopardy. He couldn't be retried on those charges.
That's not true. If they come out with compelling evidence to prove blah, 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 blah.
No. In America, if you get charged with first-degree murder and you get found not guilty, and then you say years later, "Yeah, actually, I did it," you can't be recharged on the same charges.
Exactly. Same charges. That's the small writing. So if they make it to where it's like it's not the same. I know it sounds stupid, but they even literally kind of mentioned it towards the end, but they kind of generalized it. But at the end of the day, they have to come up with something where it comes different. But that's why a lot of those serial killer ones, right? They don't want to lump them all into one group because, like what you're saying, it's hard to do all of it in one clump. And then if you lose, to be able to try them again. So
that's true. You want to try them one by one.
Yeah. So in your situation, yes, they would have to come up with something pretty badass and different. And that's where he shouldn't be surprised that he was being denied, right? When he's trying to say, "Hey, LAPD, will you do this?" And they're like, "We already did it."
he didn't put this on eBay. It was an unnamed buyer. It was supposed to be a clandestine thing. He wanted in a $5 million offshore account. I think this was in 2017. Also,
what's the value in it? What's the value in it, Robbie? Why would it be worth $5 million?
Do you want me to say
it's a fucking knife? Why would it be worth $5 million?
Because it's the knife he used to kill the person with.
Oh, so he's gonna just announce that he's got the knife that he killed his wife with.
He doesn't have to announce it. It's the one he bought the day of the murder.
Why would it be worth $5 million?
Because people collect murder weapons. Are you going to let me finish?
Wouldn't that announce that it's the murder weapon if it's worth $5 million?
Did you listen to a word I just said? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I heard every word you said.
Dude,
if you was
Josh, this is CSGO championships right here.
This is, man. It's better than what I fucking watched this morning. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm done. No, I think OJ did it. You guys can go on.
Are you gonna sulk now? Are you gonna have a
No, I'm not gonna sulk, but you guys, I can't get 3 words out, and then you keep making fun of my points. Just let me finish.
Well, why would a knife be worth $5 million if you're gonna keep it quiet? This wasn't a murder weapon. Definitely not a murder weapon, but it's worth $5 million.
Because it doesn't take.
Wouldn't you have to announce that it's a murder weapon for it to be worth $5 million?
No, because the guy buying it obviously thinks it was the murder weapon. Everyone with half a brain thinks it's the murder weapon.
Anyone with half a brain would spend $5 million?
No, why would anyone with half a brain? Oh my God.
And anybody with half a brain investigating would go, excuse me, before we do this transaction.
Yeah. We just check if there's any blood on this knife.
Was it Johnny's interpreter that bought the fucking knife? He stole 16
I can't believe I wasted an hour and 30 minutes on this doc just to get this discussion.
No, do you know what I love about this, Robbie? Is I watched this documentary and I came in 100% agreeing with you about how OJ 100% did it and how this documentary proved that OJ did it. But then you came in with some he tried to sell a knife for $5 million, but keep it clandestine because we don't want anyone to know. You know what proved that OJ did it out of this documentary? Now, the great compelling case.
I don't know, because you're the genius, so why don't you spit it the fuck out?
I will. You want to hear me do it?
Good, because you won't let me say why I didn't think so, so go ahead.
Well, you tried to say that OJ tried to sell a knife for $5 million.
No, yeah.
That's not a great argument.
I'm going to pull a Robbie. I'm 100% convinced that you can't say something right now that's going to say OJ who did it.
I will, because I watched this documentary, hour and 21 minutes that it went. Now, it presented a great case. And
you don't like being interrupted?
Don't even.
Do your train track, Ozzy. Come on.
Don't even.
You don't like the train track getting derailed?
I'll remove you from the room.
Okay, good. You've already done it 4 times today.
Oh. I don't think he's coming back.
No, he's still there. He presented a compelling circumstantial case against OJ's son. He did. And it's amazing to me that LAPD didn't pursue it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Have a look. They were fixed on OJ. And it cost them. It cost them. Because you know what you could do? And I'm going to bring you back, Robbie, now that you've fucking learned to listen. What I've seen over the years, now granted it's just drama fucking shows, but what prosecutors and detectives do to get confessions, to get plea deals, they use family against. If they had pursued his son, perhaps we've got a really good circumstantial case against his son. Perhaps you get OJ to go, oh shit, if you're going to arrest my son, you're going to lock my son up. No. I'll confess to it. You know what I mean? They could have pursued that side of it to maybe get a confession out of OJ. But what proved it to me that OJ did it is the guy proved that OJ had time to be at the scene and get on that flight to Miami. He proved it.
Yeah, but he gave the number one reason why you would be there without doing it, which is for family. You exactly said, and I was like, wow, that's the one fucking thing that I did not think of. Well, what would make him be there and not be guilty? You know, like what the fuck? And
no,
that
I agree.
was
So
it.
you could 100%. It's the angle that you use to prove OJ's innocent, but in the process,
you put him there.
You put him there. You put him there. And the
that
only
blood thing, how crazy was the blood thing, right? Like when they were explaining that, I was like, wow, I believe them when they're talking about like how that staircase, you know, there's no way what he would have to have done with Goldman and all that. And like, yeah, there's no fucking way. And I don't know if you guys have done anything, or maybe Josh with your stuff with construction or whatever, but like in the military, there's been times where we had to like simulate like biological whatever. And it's just crazy how easy it is for shit in the air to be on you without you even knowing it. And then you transfer it. And I was like, guaranteed those fuckers would have found something. So it really made sense that OJ would be there, but not when he was there when everything was splattering everywhere. And I was like, wow, this is fucking compelling that, yes, that motherfucker was there, but he was either helping or he was helping directly with the murder, or he was helping to try to, you know, whatever,
cover it up.
The son.
Which, either way, he's guilty of something, which, you know, his book said OJ is guilty but not of murder, which fine. But I spoke about when we did Last Stop Larimar, motive means opportunity. They're the three things that every investigator looks at. Motive means opportunity. That motive was really flimsy for the son. You know, like she embarrassed him by not showing up for dinner. Well, I know he's got rage issues and all of that, but
dude, you know what? I don't know, dude. I think we watched the perfect movie next to it to show the type of person that mentally could just be like, you know what? You know what?
Well, we are covering.
Don't ruin the movie for me yet. Come on, guys.
But I'm just saying, there's people that can boom change, and they painted the picture very easily that this son is one of those people who could be that way, and that's all you need is for it to could. And at the end of the day, all it really did for me with OJ is it made it to where I was like, okay, I can say he's guilty of something, but possibly still have that respect for him, because I don't know what I would fucking do if the son I love calls me up and says something, and then I run over there. I mean, think. I don't know about you guys, when they were talking about how he allegedly gets there and he sees Nicole and he touches her. Dude, he was so fucked already. The moment that truly happened, think about if he tried to call 911 or something. They're gonna be like, "Oh, really, motherfucker?"
Yeah. Well, the other thing was OJ gets woozy at the sight of blood. He ain't touching Nicole. Like, I'm sorry, I know it was dark, but he ain't touching that woman. The blood would have been everywhere. Like,
yeah, I think he would have slipped on the blood if he was like not aware it was there or something. Like, yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm just simply doing the not tactic, but just the legalese of nothing in there made me 100% sure that OJ didn't do it, and nothing made me 100% sure that he did do it, and same with the son. So it just entered one more angle where I'm not 100% sure, you know.
No, I agree. Like,
and no more than likely, we're all still just gonna have our original stance be the one that's still, you know, reigning supreme.
When the announcement of OJ's death came through, like, a bunch of stuff popped up on my feed, and then I just saw this guy tweeted OJ's son did it, like 100%, and then this fucking documentary popped up, and so I said,
"You're talking about the picture of the San Francisco."
No, so I sent it to you guys. I said, let's watch this and cover it for fun, because at no point did I think that it was going to change my mind at all, right? But the thing was, Robbie, whose screen is currently black and has been black because
we're in his stomach.
He's sulking like a baby. Robbie's attitude was, "There's no way you can convince me OJ didn't do it." I was like, "All right, motherfucker, let's dance." You know what I mean? And he didn't want to fucking dance. He cried and he bitched and moaned and he disappeared off screen. So that's fine. I think I brought a much more compelling argument that OJ did it than Robbie by suggesting he tried to sell the murder weapon for $5 million, but
He's
didn't. But he
said,
wanted to keep it under wraps.
If they think I'm guilty, I should make some money off this.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly. Yeah. Why would he go steal back his memorabilia and go to prison for that when he could have just sold the knife?
Yeah,
I love how he tried to sell that book. Everybody went crazy, so he couldn't do it. And then the father Goldman, they bought the rights to it, and they went ahead and released it, but with their, twist that he did do it. So I'm like, good for them. They fucking got some money because they weren't gonna get much from OJ, but.
Yeah.
Robbie is also upset that I got him with a fake link today where OJ confessed to the murder on his deathbed, and you click the link and it's just fucking a big black guy and his big black dick. So Robbie was upset by that fact as well. One more thing we had to do before we get going tonight, or tonight for me, morning for you guys. So yeah, I am wearing this hat, the Ohio State. And look, I've flirted with being an Ohio State fan before, but I received a package, not the big black package that Robbie looked at today, but a package from Cincinnati, Ohio. Today I've got my throwback Hawks there. So this is a St. Louis Hawks jersey, but it's a throwback. It's Trae Young. I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan, and my good friend Ross, hopefully he's watching with his daughter Georgia. Atlanta is in Georgia.
Atlanta.
Anyway, so I'm wearing that. Otherwise, I would have been wearing my Cincinnati Reds shirt that Josh also sent me. But yeah, Josh sent me an Ohio State cap, which I like. I do like a white cap. I think it's
nice. I like them too, man.
Yeah. I think they look good. Cincinnati Reds shirt, Cincinnati Reds beer koozie, I think you guys call them.
For your tinny?
Yeah, for my tinny. We call them a stubby holder because that's ruining a future Aussie slang segment.
Stubby holder.
A bottle of beer we call a stubby. Did everyone just hear Robbie breathe? Robbie just breathed. So no, I appreciate that. And what I also received in said package is a packet of, what do they call? Robbie, if you're not going to be on screen, could you not make a bunch of noise? That'd be appreciated. You sent me a packet of Grippo's barbecue chips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like barbecue chips. Those are not barbecue chips. Those are burn your asshole chips. I will say.
So you're saying they go with the Skyline chili is what you're telling me?
Yeah, well, that's what we're getting to. So I got Skyline chili, Gold Star chili.
I wanted to make sure because Justin would say I was being racist if I didn't send both.
No, that's right. And I also got some Skyline hot sauce. Now, let me tell you something.
Were the gummy bears in there? I haven't heard about the gummy bears.
So the gummy bears. We do actually get those.
They're so good.
They are good gummy bears. But we get those in our stores anyway. You know what I mean? They weren't new to me. So
I got you on that.
Yeah. But no, they are very good. They are very good. But no, so let me be clear. I don't like hot, spicy, anything in that realm at all. So
you're white.
Sauce. All right, calm down.
No, that's what they say. That's the go-to stereotype. You gotta go. White people eat bland shit and they don't know how to take anything spicy.
I thought you said your wife. I was about to say, no, my wife is great. Calm down. She's beautiful, very attractive.
White.
Yeah, he white. Yeah, no, that's true. There's nobody whiter than me on this planet. Except maybe Robbie, although his screen's black.
Man. Take off this shirt. It'll burn out all your cameras.
Hey, Robbie, are you going to come on screen now? Because I'm about to review Skyline Chili. Can you come on screen?
Buried in your belly button link. Oh,
All
there.
right.
That's the greatest comeback to a podcast I've ever seen. All right. So I got sent Skyline Chili. Now, I assume your audience knows what Skyline Chili is. If not, Josh, let everyone know what Skyline Chili is.
Skyline Chili, you're talking to the wrong guy, but it's a Cincinnati thing.
Well, you sent it to me. How am I talking to the wrong guy?
Well, because I'm not originally from Cincinnati. I mean, I've been here quite a while, but I mean, I just know that Skyline Chili is pretty much king in Ohio as far as it's just a different type of chili because I've been in a lot of different places and I like Texas style chili, to be honest. If you're gonna put a gun to my head, I mean
chili. Yeah, because like to me, chili is just chili peppers. You know what I mean? Like what is a chili?
Chili's like
You got to clean it up. You got to clean it up because when I went to Cincinnati, I had no idea what I was walking into because the way it sounded, because like you said, it's a Cincinnati thing, Skyline Chili. Well, I'm thinking Skyline Chili, okay, this like New York pizza, Memphis barbecue. This is just a type of chili. But no, it's an actual franchise, Skyline Chili, McDonald's, Skyline Chili. You know, like I had no idea that that's what it was. It was an actual store. So obviously, it's still a style, but like that was what took me by surprise when I showed up there. I'm like, oh, it's a fucking shop.
It's a different style chili than you would be accustomed to in other places. I mean,
what is a chili? Nobody's explained to me what is chili.
What is chili? You say chili peppers, but I say chili is like whether it's spices with meat and beans and
spices with meat and beans. That's fine. All right, so you can do a 3-way chili, Skyline Chili, 4-way, 5-way.
Was that your first 3-way?
Hey, actually, it is. To be honest. Yeah, no, definitely. Wait, so I don't like onions, hence why I'm a fan of the show. Nobody likes onions. Don't like onions. I don't like beans. So I would never do it 5 ways.
You're definitely a 3-way guy.
I'm a 3-way guy. Now, so Robbie, I want to go to you first because you think Skyline Chili is the greatest thing ever, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me why Skyline Chili is so great.
It's unique. It tastes amazing. The spaghetti mixed with the cheese, mixed with the chili, mixed with the beans, mixed with the onions is the greatest meal on the face of the earth. I'd rather have that than a steak from St. Alamo's.
All right, so that's the thing. All right, so Robbie loves this shit, correct?
Yeah, it's like a religious experience every time I go there.
Now, to be fair, you've gone to a Skyline Chili branch, correct? You go
I don't. The can. I'm very suspicious on if the can holds up to like the fresh.
Me too.
So Robbie's putting a caveat on this.
No, it's about. I mean, think about it. Anything that you've ever seen in the store.
Literally everything.
No. See, you're getting sulky. You're putting a caveat on it, which is a fair enough caveat because I said Wednesday. My birthday was Thursday, so I started having takeaway on Thursday. Wednesday night.
Takeaway.
Yeah, sorry, that's what we call it. It's
yeah. Is that what you call takeout?
Takeout, yeah, takeaway.
Takeaway.
Well, I mean, how's that confusing? What the fuck?
Carry on, mate.
Wednesday night, the night that OJ died, it was the night that OJ died. and they were singing bye bye fucking black running back. Anyway, I was like, I'm gonna have this tonight, and the first thing that was uncomfortable to me was eating meat out of a can. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
You gotta heat it up.
Well, yeah, no. You wouldn't eat it straight out of the can.
No, I just dumped it out of the can, Robbie, into the bowl. I didn't fucking
You
heat
make
it
it
up.
sound like you did.
I didn't read the can and go, oh, I should heat this up. No, I just dumped it out and fucking ate it straight out of the can.
I've seen crazier things
It's like
in
trying to sell a
Oregon.
knife for $5 million, but pretending it's not a murder weapon.
Did it?
Point being, I wasn't comfortable about dumping beef out of a can, but I ate it, and I did it. I did the spaghetti, then I put the chili on top, and then I put a bunch of cheese on top of that, and I ate it, and it was fine. Like, I was not offended. Are you okay?
Christ, Robbie.
Is he being attacked?
I dropped my phone on the floor. I was making sure it was okay.
Looks good.
It's great.
This is top notch podcast right this moment.
Anyway, it was fine. It was perfectly fine. Like, I wasn't offended by the Skyline chili. I would not go out of my way for Skyline chili, is what I'll say. It was fine. Like, it didn't offend me, but it didn't rock my world.
And I would say there's definitely a difference between the can and that actually going into the establishment itself.
So when I travel to the US and for whatever reason I come to Ohio, I mean,
well, you have to visit Justin Cincinnati, so you'll be in Ohio.
Well, that's why you would come here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna travel to the US and meet the biggest loser that's ever existed.
Well, you got to watch a show with the Kettering Banjo Society while you're
right. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
You know, my odds are on Dick this year. He might be the one besides Rachel. He'll be the next.
Bye-bye.
Wait, I thought you were going to say your odds are on him winning the talent show, and then that took quite the turn.
Well, you know what? That's not far off either, man.
I mean, we might have our second drop from the show, and is Josh saying my odds are on Dick.
Oh God.
You said it. I didn't.
I mean, some of the things Eddie's been saying, I know this isn't a Mallertown podcast, but when Dick calls in lately, like, Dick was like, I have to send you a picture of, Ben's like, can you send us a picture or a video of us? And Dick's like, and Eddie's like, yeah, you got to do that, Dick. Everyone loves a dick pic.
I did hear him say that.
Yeah, and I'm like, did he just say that? And then the other day, Ben just flat out said, don't be a dick to Dick. Like, how did that not get dumped?
Ben's always talking about taking the D or giving the D. Or
I know. Yeah.
That's easily not dumped, but the best part is that you repeated what Eddie said, so now we can take what you said and use it.
Is it just me, or do you all?
We literally have audio of Robbie saying.
And now I will never help find editing software because of this.
Oh, really? So you're going to be a bitch again?
It was oh my God.
The comedy is just
the sound of that thick hand smashing down on that desk.
Yeah, I know. I had I went out to dinner tonight at the casino.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks. And we had I ate some beef. Anyway. It doesn't even matter anymore. The point being is you got meaty hands, Robbie. You got meaty hands.
What the hell does that have to do with going to dinner?
It means if you were a catcher for what was the team that guy was on hit his wrist and he got hurt,
the Phillies,
you would have just went, what was that?
Yeah. Well, can you imagine how long it would take OJ to stab Robbie to death? It took 27 stabs to get Ron Goldman.
He just put the knife down and say, fuck it.
Chopper would be a 15-hour movie.
Yeah.
You guys are mean.
If OJ murdered Robbie, it would be better than his 2,000-yard season because the effort that would have gone in.
There still would have been no blood transfer to the carpet either.
Just fat oozing.
You're like, he never quite broke the
Skyline,
epidermis.
skyline chili just dripped on the pavement.
It's not murder if you don't break the epidermis.
There's a hint of Tabasco on the end of this knife.
Yeah, I see you played Knifey Spoony before. All right, I think we're done. I reviewed Skyline Chili. It's fine. I'll eat it if I ever go to Ohio. I'll eat it at a proper restaurant.
Properly.
Out of a can. Nah, it's fine. Yeah, I might try the Gold Star one day.
Or give it to a buddy.
I think according to the can, I think I've got till 2026, which that bothers me as well. Beef in a can until 2026. Like, what the fuck am I eating?
Best if you buy it. It didn't say you had to.
What happens first? 2026 actually happens, or
Gold Star chili still exists?
Yeah.
Good question. Good question. Can you imagine that? Gold Star chili shuts down, and I eat their chili after they're closed. You know, because we know if Justin thinks they're the better brand, we know they're losers and they're gonna collapse.
There'll be a reason why they start shipping those over in crates for Ukraine for a defense.
I was about to say that, and I felt so bad I didn't say it. And then
you throw the cans, Scoop. You don't eat them, man. You throw them.
Poor Rwandan children that are.
We got to do better than that guy does at the bar with his stories breakdowns. So we got to cover. So Skyline points from the show. Skyline regular is better than the can. Jason Simpson absolutely did it. What else? What else did we cover today?
Justin's a loser.
Justin's a loser.
A loser.
Robbie's
we're gonna hit
some issues.
Yeah, Robbie's been a bitch all day.
Oh.
We're gonna hit some chats and we're gonna get out of here.
Well, he put it in his own name down there, whiter than fuck. I mean,
yeah. Whiter or wider?
Both.
We're gonna hit some chats and get out of it because I think this is our longest show we've ever done and highest audience we've maintained. It peaked at 11. Lowest we got to was 3, I think. So that's really good.
Sorry for the 3.
We're doing well. Walker 2508 is here. Aussie guy, you should be wearing an A. It should be an, but you should be wearing a Illawarra Hawks jersey. Well, it's Atlanta Hawks. Throwback to the St. Louis Hawks. And I'm a Wildcats fan. Perth Wildcats, greatest franchise.
I almost feel like you're going to bring me a Domino's pizza in that outfit, Ozzy.
Fair enough. Yeah, cool. I'll bring it to you in a can.
Hey.
I would eat a canned pizza. That sounds kind of good in a weird way.
Jesus Christ, Robbie.
Can?
Jesus.
Non-perishable
fucking Marcel thing right there. Pizza in a can.
Pizza in a can. You are a fucking nut job. Big Greg popped in. Robbie sets himself up like bowling pins, and Aussie knocks him down. When did he put that chat in? That was at 11:59. That was it was just now. And OJ would switch to a chainsaw.
To get Robbie. The teeth are just flying off. Ring, ring.
And then all the neighbors be like, "Oh yeah, fickle." Very good. Thank you, Big Greg. We appreciate it. Just going back to Shane, because we told Shane to find every talent show performance. He said, "Ask fucking Emmett. He's all about Ben Maller history." You've got a fucking hard on for Emmett, don't you, Shane?
Yeah, that's kind of creepy. Emmett's barely 18.
Emmett likes the producers or whatever.
Yeah, he does.
He can name all like 19 producers. It's kind of creepy that too.
But I give him credit, like I wish I knew absolutely what I wanted to do at the age that, like when he came in, because think about it, when you do know, and then you go into whatever that job force is and you say, hey, I'm interested in this. They're like, oh shit, this is really cool. Like this kid wants to know this. We want to help him. No, not when you're like 35, 40, 45. Hey, I'd really like to be help out clean the locker room for the Niners. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you don't be part of our organization.
You got a hobby?
Apparently at 30, you're already aged out of being a candidate for the updates at FSR. They'll hire that one guy who leads off with a shooting adjacent to a Michigan State basketball game, but they won't even give me a tryout.
You're seriously doing this?
Yeah, I'm still bitter about that.
You called in once.
And it was still better than any of that.
Why the fuck would they hire you? Why the fuck would they hire you? You rage quit on this show twice today.
No, I haven't. And what does that have to do with giving an update?
Well, because what if Ben bumps into your update and says you're retarded?
Yeah, because I'm sure that would make the air.
Well, obviously I'm like being a bit more extreme, but
I used to think that it was so easy for Ben to get Coop going, but oh my god, if Robbie was on that crew,
oh my god,
it'd be gasoline.
Imagine you just popped in. Imagine you just popped in and went, "Why are you leading with Mariners games?"
I feel like Ben would still respect me. The reason I got upset is
Ben doesn't respect you now. Why would he respect you then?
What?
He even took a shot at you this week, and he did it for Justin. You didn't hear that?
What one?
I couldn't tell you, but I know when he made the comment, I was like, wow. And he was like, that was for Justin.
Oh, no, I heard that. You have no idea.
That's a layup, though. Yeah, it's kind of automatic. One of those automatic comebacks, not personal comeback.
Yeah, I'm not saying personal. No, by no means.
Robbie, I respect you and I'm genuinely your friend, but I did everything I could to fucking ruin you today. Like...
I don't even know why I watched the damn documentary. That's what I'm most upset about.
Oh, man.
It was an hour and a half, and I didn't get to say any of what I wanted to say because you're just like, today's day I'm just going to
because you were talking nonsense.
These losers need to hurry up and watch Chopper because you keep saying things that are reminding me of that. In particular, how quick somebody will do something really bad to somebody in that movie and then immediately like apologize, like as if that would fucking matter in the moment. I just
yeah, you guys, 2 weeks from today. All right, we're getting into the plugs.
I'm glad you think I can't even.
Oh wait,
I wouldn't even be able to do an update. That's
Ribman's out. Oh, wait, you guys are saying Robbie is an easy target? Who knew? Nobody said you couldn't do an update, Robbie.
You literally just said I wouldn't be able to do it.
No.
Yes.
This is the problem.
You said I wouldn't be able to do that job.
No, this is a mistake. You couldn't do that job. Yes. No, you couldn't do that job. Could you do an update? Yes, of course you could do
I've done an update. It went well. Why don't you think I couldn't do that job?
It wasn't an update. It was a phone call.
No, it wasn't. You didn't even fucking listen.
You did an FSR news update.
It wasn't an official one, but I called in. They played
it. It was a phone call to the show. Yes.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I used the telephone to call in.
Yeah. So it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. You could do an update. Could you do that job? No fucking way.
I don't think he can prove he called in. I think Jason Simpson did it.
There you go.
2.
I've actually seen the call logs, and it was definitely Jason Simpson.
Robbie, I don't remember it, but I remember you did it, but I don't remember what it sounded like. But I remember there not being any problem with it. But yes, the second Ben would really actually have you on his crew and take that first jab at you. Oh my god, it'd be a nuclear explosion.
You're an employee of FSR. and your job is to do updates. You don't think Ben isn't driving a samurai sword into that
He's sharpening
very
his-
ample belly
You
of yours?
don't want to be
You're
the
kidding
update
yourself.
guy for Ben. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. He's gonna get whoever it is.
Ben would be salivating, and then as soon as you would start talking, it would be that scene from The Simpsons where Bart goes, "April foot," boom, the nuclear explosion.
I gotta go. You can find us at USA of AUSpod. Twitter.
We broke him. We
And
broke
in
him.
other
mate.
games of note,
We broke him. I don't know. Look, at this point, I don't know if Robbie will ever be back because
it wasn't even that bad, too. Like, we've done way worse.
that's the fucking softest gay shit I've ever seen. Like, and no
We've
disrespect,
said so much
no
more
disrespect
offensive
to the gay
things.
community, but that is the most faggoty thing I've ever seen. Robbie walking off, like, have a
That was a
back.
Robbie walk-off. That was a Robbie walk-off.
Like, does he honestly
What,
believe
would you expect him to run off?
Yeah.
He's still fucking around in third. What are you talking about?
He broke his ankle stepping on the bag.
How could he honestly believe that like FSA would hire him?
Oh,
Is
he
it-
said my phone
man.
died.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
And Jason Simpson did it.
But no, seriously, FSR has to hire him. All right, that's the first thing. Second thing, he gets on the Ben Mal show. Third thing, puts up with Ben berating him on every update because it's not Eddie. I mean, come on.
He wouldn't do it. I mean, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it.
Wait, if his phone died, let's just go back to that. If his phone died, how did he
Say
How
my
did he-
phone died.
Yeah, exactly. He's already told
Well-
us his laptop crashed and his iPad crashed. So
He's got a Bluetooth stiletto knife, and on there he's able to type in. I don't know, but yeah,
did he sell it for $5 million?
Yes.
Did say it's not a murder weapon?
He said this is the one that Diddy used on my anus.
Yeah. In Meek Mill's anus.
But yeah, there's just no. I mean, you've seen it, right? You've got the polar opposites. Eddie just like plows through like an icebreaker, whatever Ben's saying. You got Brian Fenley, who's like the goldfish. Hey, what was that? And he'll stop every 2 seconds. And then you got most of the other guys who just get destroyed because they don't really understand what's happening, and so they don't know how to negotiate it. Like, I think Brian Fenley figured out a long time ago, but he was just like, this is my thing. I'm just gonna fucking embrace it.
The only one I've seen him clean with is just to say, like when you're saying like Fenley, and it's like DeSager. He's the only one who comes through clean on the updates. If he was in there, and which would be rare for Ben, but he doesn't fuck with him.
Yeah, the certain respect level. The women he usually won't fuck with, and somebody who's been there like a long time type thing.
Yeah.
Like this hasn't DeSager been there like for forever or something?
I think so.
Well, not just that, but DeSager had one of the great moments where one of Ben's listeners had passed away, and there was like a poem or something like that they'd sent in, and DeSager like buried the poem, like ripped the shit out of it.
Oh, I remember.
Ben hadn't told him that it was a dead listener, and DeSager. So I think there's like a level of respect there because of that. You know what I mean? And DeSager's like just. DeSager reminds me of that like autistic kid that you're like, he's cool and he's got a sense of humor. Like he's the autistic with a sense of humor. You know what I mean? Like, Eddie's just Eddie's just worked with Ben for so long. He's like, whatever, Ben, you're not gonna fuck with me. You know what I mean?
I can take your shit.
Yeah, and I honestly think Fenley's just like, I know what this is, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, Fenley's never really got upset with anything I've tweeted at him, and I've let him know a few things. You know what I mean? Like, I think Fenley gets it.
Yeah, I think Eddie and Ben are like Lethal Weapon, Danny Glover, and Mel Gibson. He's just, I'm too old for this shit.
Do we go on three? On three?
Well, 1, 2, 3, then go.
You're right. Yeah, it's your ass.
Ripman, damn, got here just in time. Clearly, yes, you did. You started all this, Ripman.
I know it was Ripman's fault.
We
Easy
everything.
target.
We were all getting along. We're all laughing. We're having a good time.
Mhm.
Robbie was not upset at all. Then Ripman got here at 12:07 a.m. my time, and completely ruined everything.
Basically, Ripman did to this show like a Boeing with missing bolts, up in the sky.
Or the Challenger.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Also, Ripman, Shane, you should call him Robbie. You two are close. Shane, call Robbie, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie needs Jesus,
And a bubble bath.
And some Skyline chili.
Oh, so this is going back before we berated Robbie. This was Shane. Robbie would be better than Kevin Wyatt and Fenley. Those two fucking suck. Yeah, Robbie sucks pretty hard himself. Robbie could suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
Or the chrome off a trailer hitch.
All right, we need to go. This is our longest episode by far. I need to go to bed. This
It's like a mini series.
Just Josh, hit your plugs.
You can find me at NJHunt02 on X, and other than that, just chilling.
Good. Scooper?
At Jesse Crean, JESSECREAN on Twitter. Fuck that X shit.
Oh, come on,
Twitter
man.
till the day I die. What? And watch Chopper, the Australian blockbuster. You blood ulcerated knuckleheads.
Yeah.
But not blood.
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, Robbie would have told you that on Twitter X, we are at USA of AUS Ozpod. I don't know. I forget now. USA of AUS. I think. I don't know. It's very confusing. Doesn't make any sense at all. But Robbie would have plugged that before he left, and he also would have plugged at Mariner Robbie. And if everyone, please, all 5 of you, if you could go tweet Robbie right now and say, why would a knife be worth $5 million if it wasn't a murder weapon? Just ask that question, please. Love that. Also, thank you, Vinnie Paulino. Vinnie was great the first half of this show. Vinnie was interesting. He was fun, and I love having Dabbleverse people on. Even though these guys don't know the Dabbleverse, we do get Dabbleverse viewers that pop in from time to time. So I like to have Dabbleverse. And there'll be another Dabbleverse person in 2 weeks. We'll probably be off next week. We may do a show, but we'll see what happens with next week. But in 2 weeks' time, Lucy Tightbox from Who Are These Podcasts, aka Kaylee from Once Over with Kaylee, will be here to review what movie, Scoop?
Chopper.
We're going to review the movie Chopper with Lucy Tightbox. She is a movie buff and a beautiful, sexy woman.
Hey, man.
Yeah, so finally we'll have something to look at on this screen.
Robbie won't be running away.
Well,
yeah, look it up. It's USA of AUS pod.
Yes, I think that's what I said.
Which is stupid because it should be US.
Yeah.
Of AUS.
That A after the US is dumb.
Just put an S where the A should be.
Yeah. No, well, I think I need to change it. Actually, I'll do that. I'll think of one while I finish the rest of the plugs. What was the rest of my plugs? Yeah, so the 27th live here, Lucy Tightbox will be covering the movie Chopper, one of Australia's most notorious criminals, and a interesting story that goes along with it.
It's insane.
It is crazy, insane, and insane crazy. I am also on a show called Get My Go. We did a wrestling review, WrestleMania preview, and it was really gay. And you should go listen to it because it's so gay. Also, Mike Durbin is the producer of Get My Go, youtube.com/Get My Go, and he has a Pro Wrestling Pro Wrestling Tee Store, prowrestlingtees.com/Mike Durbin, where you can get an That's Saucy Guy t-shirt. Oh, fuck. No, because I was supposed to do. Yeah, no, you can find us on X at USA. Wait,
I think he's having a stroke.
I am. You can find us on X at USA of AUS Pod. Just put a where it shouldn't be because it wouldn't make any sense. And on Twitter, I'm at That Sussy Guy. Just imagine that Aussie guy and put an S where the A should be. We'll catch you next time on United States of Australia.
Jason did it.
$5 million.
Oh, hang on. Shane, you should call in you to a place. Oh, wait, I already read that.
Yeah, you did. I think you need to go to bed.
Well, it seemed like it just popped up all of a sudden.
From the redundant department of redundancy.
Just put an A where it shouldn't be. We'll catch you next time on United States of Australia.
Jason did it.